Welcome in to a Thursday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Sorry we're a little late here. We're updating the pictures that we're going to show you from yesterday's field trip on LSU's campus, where the Culotta Show spread the web of the recruiting hand.
It was, little Jay. Apple don't fall from the tree, it turns
out. Out there
out.
working on May the 4th. I'm glad we stayed away from May the 4th jokes.
I think none of us even knew.
Yeah, what a weird day.
I think that part of the holiday is taken care of.
Give a shout out to your boy over at Florida Lee Law and Title.
Oh yeah, Jared Miguez.
Right here, bro.
A little Cinco de Mayo. That's the holiday I think it's chosen us this year. Little Jared Miguez, shout out, Florida Lee Law and Title. And then we have Cinco de Mayo today at Modesto. So a lot of, I guess, my relationships with my brother coming to roost. Jared was best friends with Sean growing up, so that's how this came to be. And then we have Modesto today for Cinco de Mayo. So busy day for the Culotta Show. And then Mic'd Up will be out there, so it'll be fun.
Good day. If you're out and about and moving around today, happy Cinco de Mayo. Is that how you do it? Happy Cinco de Mayo to you out there? Yeah, why not? Celebrate it safely. If you're out looking for a couple of drinking partners, stop in and see our friends over at Mic'd Up over at Modesto today. The crew's going to be around. And come join it with them. So happy Cinco de Mayo to you. There you go. Little block party.
3 p.m. And then the cornhole, I think, is what we're in charge of. Balcony Bingles will be out there. They got a team. Some other people have DM'd Sean to get a team together. So it'll be a little twist on cornhole where we're going fast paced. It's not it's not a tailgate cornhole. It's a throw it and go. 20 minutes shot clock. Let's get this thing moving. Absolutely.
Love it. Daily here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We're brought to you by Go Chevrolet. Remember our friends over there at GEAUX, Check them out online, or at least stop in and see the used car lot right here in Baton Rouge on the corner of Sherwood Forest and Florida Boulevard. Great selections over there at Go Express Auto Sales. Also great selections over at Go Chevrolet out in LaPlace. Check them out, GEAUXChevrolet.com. True Blue Water. Cheers to you this morning from True Blue Water. Every morning over here on the Culotta Show, we're sipping True Blue Water. If you want to get on the delivery route, you can. TRUBluewater.com. Our phone line brought to you by our friends over at Metropolitan Health Group, Charlie Harvey and Jason Ramazan. Proud supporters of the show. Great to be in business with them. Online, Metropolitan Health Group. And Real Doctors, Real Solutions. Jason Ramazan and our friend Charlie Harvey over there bringing you our phone line. We'll talk a little bit about one of the rumors that was popping yesterday, Will Wade. Geez, what a waste of time. Really. I mean, what an absolute waste of time to have to spend yesterday getting down to that. And luckily, from Little Jay's presence on campus, Adam Miller and I were actually kind of talking throughout the day. He was like, dude, your kid. I mean, like, came up to me, flagged me down. He sees me from across the street, runs across the street. You could tell his teacher was like stressed out because he barely looked both directions before he sprinted out across Stadium Drive. This is like in front of Mike the Tiger's cage. And so we were kind of going back and forth all day. And then in the afternoon, I get hit with a flurry of like text messages and DMs and some mentions on Twitter of what I think about a report that's coming out from a local, I guess, podcaster here. You know, I mean, this is the type of stuff that really brings the credibility of the business down when you start just throwing this stuff up against the wall. And, it has a report out there that says in the opening line, allegedly reported. So what are we doing here? Are we alleging or are we reporting? Because which way are we going to go? The alleged report says that Will Wade was steering Adam Miller to TCU. And when I tell you that cannot be so much further from the truth and debunked last night by Adam Miller on Twitter, on social media, as Adam and I are kind of talking back and forth about my kid, flagging him down and begging him for a picture yesterday and kind of trying to recruit him back to LSU. I mean, he was kind of laughing at little Jay yesterday on campus about his little personality, which, I mean, it was kind of funny to hear the stories from somebody else about your kid, about, just like I can relate. That's exactly how I was when I was a kid. I know exactly what he was doing.
I believe everything that you're telling me.
Absolutely. And I said, Adam, did you see this? And he's like, see what? I sent him the screenshot. He's like, what the? And so that kind of spurs him to go on to social media. And then I get in touch with Will Wade. And Wade, when I tell you, went through the roof when I told him and showed him that. Like, his face turned blood red. I mean, his eyeballs popped out of his head. I mean, could not be more MFing further from the truth. Irate at the fact that that's even out there allegedly reported. Have some responsibility before you just start throwing that stuff up against the wall and using people's name and reputation out there. So irresponsible to put that stuff on the streets and throw somebody's name attached to it because it's allegedly reported. Give me a break. But the credibility of that show, of that medium where we are, takes a hit because of it. Irresponsible is the only way to say it. Wade and Miller, when heard it, their first impression was pissed. And I was the front line to it. I showed it to Adam Miller. He had no idea. So he said, what are you talking about? Screenshot, showed it to him. I mean, didn't hear from him. Next thing I know, he's on social media saying, just saw this, or just saw him. He could see my head was cloudy. His exact words were, you got to do what you think is best for you. And as Wade told us yesterday, they had a conversation on Monday, Adam Miller and Will Wade. And as Miller points out in his tweet, he's kind of going back to his old coach, just kind of looking for some words of encouragement, advice, anything he can kind of help him with when he's in a confused spot. And as Wade pointed out to me yesterday and pointed out to Adam Miller as he's telling you, he said, man, you got to do what you think is best for you. You're the only one that can make this decision. Everybody can tell you the pros and cons of both sides, but when it comes down to it, you got to make your choice. And as Wade said yesterday, he expressed to him, wherever you go, you have my full support. Never trying to recruit him away from LSU. Grow up. Give me a break. Get out of here with that BS. Trying to start cafeteria high school drama when it's been well documented. I told you yesterday, I've talked to people in Matt McMahon's camp, and I've talked to Will Wade directly. Those two have been in contact with Wade, giving nothing but encouragement, direction, and any type of help he can to make Matt McMahon successful at his job. McMahon recognizes that. He kept Tasman Mitchell on staff. If there was beef, drama, any type of stuff swirling on the back end between LSU basketball and Will Wade, nobody that was connected to Wade would have a job. He kept one of his assistants and named him the assistant to the head coach in Tasman Mitchell. This stuff's a waste of time, man. It's irresponsible, and it pisses me off because this is the medium that we live in now. We're not on terrestrial radio. We're in talks right now with a television company locally here, which we believe we're about to take an enormous step of getting on another platform, but we're not there yet. We just live in a digital world where anybody can pick up a microphone, fire up a camera, and bark into it. And when you have people who are doing good work out there and building up some momentum and building up some audience and building up a reputation of being there on time and consistently and giving and talking what people want to hear about, and then you put this stuff on the street? Allegedly reported. Get the hell out of here. Allegedly reported. In the same sentence, the opening line, allegedly / reported. Which is it? Are you alleging or are you reporting? Well, some TCU kid said, oh, you know what that tells me? That tells me that Tony Bedford, who's on staff at TCU, who's still pissed about the way that he lost his job at LSU, finds out that they're probably losing Adam Miller to LSU. And he's trying to put some smoke on the street, so he calls a beat writer at TCU to put some stuff on Twitter. And the next thing you know, some Baton Rouge podcaster is reporting it, allegedly. Or you. What is it? Meanwhile, you've got the former head coach and the player at the center of it saying, what's going on? What are they saying? Huh? Say what? Now you've pissed both of them off. Just a joke, man.
But you do it because you love LSU.
It's a joke. Adam Miller is being advised by the people closest to him that he trusts. Will Wade's in that circle. And there's a decision that we'll find out soon. Sounds like it's between LSU and TCU. And by the news coming out of TCU,
allegedly reporting,
it sounds like LSU's in the lead. We just got local people biting on the bait. Allegedly reported.
And he hasn't actually gone with Will Wade, so it's really him just kind of spinning his own narrative, which is not shocking.
What's the axe to grind over Wade? Why? Why do you hate Wade? Because he didn't give you access? Now he thinks you're a bigger clown. I mean, because you're putting that stuff out.
No, dude, you're not going to use our medium to boast yours. Sorry. Get out of here.
No thanks. We're going to talk to BJ Ojulari in studio at 8:30 this morning. He'll be here talking spring football, Jamar Cain, defensive line coach, Matt House, everybody's new faces over at LSU football, and he's one of the studs over there. We will talk to him coming up here on the Jordy Culotta Show. But as we said yesterday, huge news with the Saints as the New Orleans Saints signed Tyrann Mathieu and introduced him yesterday. I think this is going to be an iconic picture, an image that we see of Mathieu like a decade from now. Him sitting at that press conference yesterday with that hat on, talking in New Orleans, talking about New Orleans, talking to New Orleans media about being a Saint was, in my opinion, the start of something what feels like it could be great. Really. I mean, hopefully, as he said, and Ed Daniels pointed it out and asked him a question about being 30 years old and kind of making it seem like he was old in football terms, and really kind of 30 for the life of a football player is considered to be old, especially a safety. And Mathieu kind of shot that down. In fact, we've got some audio from yesterday at the press conference where Mathieu spent about 15 minutes talking to local media. And as he said to the local media, it's really kind of soaking in right now that this stuff is real for him, that he's home. He's a Saint. And I was telling Lloyd this morning, man, hopefully he can play this 3-year contract out at the level that he's been playing football at over the last, let's say on average, 5 years, right? Where in the last 5 years, he's been considered an all-pro, the best safety in the league, the highest paid safety in the league, a free agent, kind of finding his way, signed a 1-year deal with Houston, thought he was going back to Kansas City, was snubbed for another local guy in Justin Reed out of Dutchtown, and was kind of wondering what and where his football life was going. So, I mean, he's been at the peak. He's won Super Bowls, All-Pros, Pro Bowls, but he's also kind of wondered where he's been. You take the average of the last 5 years and you get the 3 years that he signed in New Orleans playing at that style. I mean, he can play the next 3 years. As he said yesterday, he'd like to play even more in New Orleans. I think he's a Hall of Famer, or he's in the discussion if he plays 3 more years at the level he's been playing at. He's definitely going to get a gold jacket. And I think he goes in as a Saint. Like, think about that. Think about the life and trajectory of Tyrann Mathieu's just football career. He told the story yesterday. He was a senior at St. Augustine when the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl in 2009. He got into the car with his friends and rode down Canal Street, just kind of took it all in. Think about now that Mathieu could be the face of the defense in 2022 with a team that could be in Super Bowl contention. And him as the leader on it. And everything in between there. The superstar at LSU. The trying to find his way at LSU. 3rd round pick, Arizona Cardinals. Makes his name in the league. Cardinals still doubt him. Signs a 1-year deal in Houston. Proves his worth. Highest paid safety in the league. Kansas City. 3-year run. Super Bowl championship. Back-to-back Super Bowls. All pros. Pro Bowls. Thinks he's going to end his career there. KC doesn't want to pay him. As he said yesterday, he kind of thought in the back of his head the whole time, I want to go home. Only visit he took in free agency was to New Orleans. Guess we didn't read a lot into that. We didn't look into that.
Well, the reports that were coming out around it were that he was just there to say what's up, see some people in the building, and grab some swag for his kids. It turns out this man was officially interested in playing for New Orleans, and that it was hard to take from that because he's only there for, 15 minutes? I guess he saw all he needed to see. And for him to, like the way he's speaking this out publicly and talking about how much he wanted to play for New Orleans, I don't want to say it's shocking because it makes sense, but I just never thought I would see it in my lifetime. I thought it was such a, I mean, you talk about the story that he had and what happened in New Orleans and how he had to get out of town. But the way that this is all played out, in my mind, I thought it would never happen. But for him to speak on that stuff, feel comfortable enough in his own skin and where he was and who he's become, to come back to New Orleans, it's full circle on who Tyrann Mathieu is as a person. He's totally rewrote his narrative.
Did you see what happened to the link for his jersey? They crashed
the website
at NFL.com. I mean, it is going.
They don't even know what number he's going to be.
Our boy Jordy Culotta said it great yesterday. He said, "This is not a great signing just for football. This is a great signing for the community in New Orleans." You got to mention. I mean, you got to realize now. I mean, he's a local. He's from there. He's been. He's seen. The ups and the downs of the city. He knows what the Saints mean to New Orleans. And he said, as we kind of were trying to portray here, and I saw somebody yesterday at lunch. I was down in New Orleans. We got a great new sponsor, in fact, from New Orleans. Shows the growth of the show and our credibility that's moving down there, man. And we could not be more excited to partner up with Men's Total Health. We're looking forward to telling you a lot about what's going on at Men's Total Health, located on Veterans Boulevard in New Orleans, 3829 Veterans Boulevard. I was over there yesterday with Mike Roach, who is the RN over there. Great, easy to work with. Your body produces testosterone, obviously, as you get older. That kind of starts to decrease. My free T number is a little low, and I'm working with Mike Roach down there and looking forward to it, man. It's very easy. Had my blood drawn yesterday. Was over on Veterans, but I was in New Orleans, and people were saying that they heard the show, which is fantastic, man. It's awesome to hear the growth of this show. And how it's kind of reaching out beyond Baton Rouge and stretching down that I-10 corridor from Houston to Lake Charles to Lafayette to Baton Rouge down to New Orleans. It's awesome. It's great. But they were saying about what I was talking about, Mathieu, about not only having an impact in the locker room and on the field, and how he can be make a huge impact on the cities of both New Orleans and Baton Rouge, who are very much struggling right now in the Department of Leadership organization. Both cities feel very unsafe, out of whack, unorganized, with very little leadership. There's no face to it. I live here in Baton Rouge. I never see Sharon Weston Broom. I never see her, right? But the whole city feels just very unorganized. The week that Tyrann Mathieu was here, I felt more connected to Baton Rouge and felt more inspiration around Baton Rouge than I have in a long time. It feels like the New Orleanians feel the same way. I put a lot of stock into what somebody like Jordy Culotta says. He's from New Orleans, loves the city, embraces it. He's a part of the city. To hear what he says about Mathieu has this similar feel of kind of when I'm talking about what he means to Baton Rouge. Not only can he really motivate and inspire the football fans, hopefully he can inspire the leaders of the community. He's going to have an impact on the youth. That the kids are going to look up to him. And like he said yesterday in his press conference, he's not just signing to come play football. And he's left his mark everywhere he's been. He has been someone in the community that has consistently been behind great efforts and reach into impoverished, low, high poverty areas of Arizona, Kansas City, Houston, New Orleans, Baton Rouge. Every place he touches, he leaves his mark beyond the football team. And at this moment, in this time, for the city of New Orleans, for the city of Baton Rouge, where he is so revered and carries so much weight, it feels like such a great and perfect time for all of this to happen. 10 years into his career, he's really found himself. I was he's a grown man. You know what I mean? Like he was talking about how he's grown up. And this is the time to come home. And we really should have, from our standpoint, people who are covering it, we should have read between the lines. He's been coming home a lot.
When you listen to the interview, that's kind of what he says. Like, I never really left Louisiana. Like, he had one Zoom call, I think, with the Eagles. If you talk about, like, him exploring free agency, he was just in New Orleans. He was in Baton Rouge. He was in Louisiana. And they asked him a little bit about, why do you think it took so long? And I think he maybe didn't realize, and I don't think that maybe the media didn't realize that the Saints had to wait because of the compensatory picks. But I think if that wasn't in play, he probably would have been signed a little bit earlier, it feels like. Like, this is the place he wanted to come to, which is still, in my mind, unbelievable to think that this is happening and this was on his radar and it's a place he wanted to come back to. Because in these interviews and during that press conference, he mentioned community probably is just as much as he mentioned the Saints, and he mentioned team. And, like, a part of what he's doing to come back is all the things you kind of hit on. He understands what's going on in New Orleans. He can be kind of a beacon of hope there and show, like, younger inner city kids, all the people that he was, how to get out of the city, how to make the city better. All the things that Tyrann Mathieu is doing, he wants to be able to inspire younger kids to be able to do. It doesn't have to be this way.
Agreed, man. And, much like we saw him speaking to the Maravich Center a couple of weeks ago, to a room that was filled with, like I said, that's the beautiful thing about Tyrann Mathieu, is that he crosses over. He can go into so many rooms. He can go into every room, really. He can go into every single room. In the Maravich Center 3 weeks ago, he was speaking to a room with the majority of it filled with sorority and fraternity members because it was put on by a Greek organization locally on campus. But it was also filled with people that were interested. Like Kelly and I wanted to bring Jordan and his friend out there just for the kids have the opportunity to hear him speak. We had heard him speak before, and he has such an impact. The interview that we had administered with him was like 2 days before that. And there was still an impact that was kind of like living in me from just talking to him. We got to tighten our company up. We got to tighten our business up. I got to get on a routine. I got to start living with a purpose. He inspires that type of feeling within people. And that's another thing that stood out to me in his press conference. And I don't mean to get off on the philanthropist of Tyrann Mathieu here, because I know it's much more about the football. But think about and go back and listen to the 15 minutes. In fact, Lloyd's cut a little bit of it up. And I don't know, Lloyd, if you have it titled, but the one where he's consistently talking about making people better around him. Like that's his purpose as a teammate, is to help you improve. And man, whether you're in the executive office or whether you're a scout or whether you're his position coach or the coordinator or you're his teammate, that makes everybody a little excited to go to work, that you got that guy in the building and doesn't mind pulling more weight. Like he said here in the interview, go back and listen to that interview, man. It's very insightful on who Tyrann Mathieu is. When he signed, like he said, when I sign, I'm falling off the map. I'm living in the spotlight right now for who he is. Traveling around, LSU football, things are going on social media. He's unsigned as a free agent. People are still kind of buzzing about him now. Now that he's a Saint, as he said in the interview, whoever I sign with, give me my iPad, give me my teammates, give me my coaches, and let me dive into football. You won't see Mathieu probably until preseason. But everything he says about his objective as a teammate is to make the guy next to him better. And whether that is having himself in shape, having himself prepared, knowing where everybody's supposed to be, or just being there late, early, showing that, hey, man, what do you need to talk about? I've been here 10 years. Think about Chris Olave. Think about Smoke Monday. Think about CD Deuce. Think about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Think about the relationship that Mike Thomas and Tyrann Mathieu are going to have. Jameis Winston and Tyrann Mathieu. It seems like every quarterback Mathieu has played with, he's made an impact on, whether it's been Carson Palmer, whether it's been Patrick Mahomes. I mean, everywhere he's been, it feels like people have really loved being his teammate. Not just Patrick Peterson. Guys on the other side of the ball, he affects the whole team. Dennis Allen, I'd imagine, is waking up a little earlier and getting into work, into the office, because you got to coach a guy like Mathieu.
And Mathieu talked a lot about Dennis Allen and what his system is and how he wanted to play in a system like this where, I mean, you hit on it a little bit, whatever. It's like, all right, you can have people that can lurk. You don't really know what they're going to do in coverage. And Tyrann said all of those same things where he's like, I'm excited to play in a defense, not only scheme-wise, but because of the chemistry and camaraderie and like the handshakes, all of those things that he listed. He's like, it just looks like they're having fun. And I can't imagine playing in a better place than New Orleans when it's like that, when the fans are rocking. It's kind of what he's always wanted. He's never really been the face of a team. You know, he's always been a superstar, but he's never been able to be kind of what he was at LSU, where it was Tyrann Mathieu is by far the leader, whatever, in the media sense. You know, he's always been it internally, but now he's going to get that. He's going to be a star here. He's going to have probably more on his plate than he's ever had before.
Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button if you don't mind. We appreciate you starting your day here with us on YouTube. If you have not subscribed yet, please do that. We are making a big push towards 10,000 here, and as we said, it's been fun to watch and listen to the show grow. As Charles County Matters just writes in, bruh, your show is far east. I am from New Orleans, living in the D.C. area, and Monday through Friday I sit in my office listening to the show. A lot of us live in D.C., listen daily. Shout out up to the Capitol, man. We appreciate the support up there in D.C. from the locals. Charles County Matters, thank you for writing in, man. It is good to hear from the people out there. Remember, daily, we're brought to you by Cajun Ready Mix Concrete. CajunRMC.com. Cajun Ready Mix is available to you, whether you are local and dealing with a home project, or if you are a big construction company and looking to get concrete on a big job site. Doesn't matter. Residential, commercial, industrial, municipal. They've got 9 plant locations around the greater Baton Rouge area, so they're ready to help you out today over at Cajun Ready Mix. They strive to be the premier provider of quality concrete, and they do that. Look online at CajunRMC.com. CajunRMC.com. High-quality products, grade A equipment, red carpet service, and clear safety standards is what you get when you deal with Cajun Ready Mix. CajunRMC.com. CajunRMC.com. Good stuff. We're going to talk to Nick Underhill. Hopefully, I've got a text into Underhill, who I know has been very busy over the last couple of days covering all of this. And look, I think that the Saints are still in play for a couple of more players here, including Jarvis Landry. So we'll see what type of moves they make. It's good to see Chris Olave and Mike Thomas working out together already. You see them working out with Jameis. I mean, you start to see the chemistry of this team, and you throw a little bit of Tyrann Mathieu into the mix, and you can only imagine how much this thing will strengthen and really start to hit the grease, man. And I mean, like 2 matchups a year versus Tom Brady. I mean, this stuff is phenomenal. Let's get to some of this sound. Lloyd cut it up last night from Tyrann Mathieu. This is him yesterday speaking at the Saints facility, and this sound is courtesy of the NFL and the New Orleans Saints from yesterday's press conference. But here's Mathieu. Let's just go through them, Lloyd. Just kind of spin through them.
Sure.
Yesterday's presser from Tyrann.
It's most definitely a dream. I think, having the opportunity to represent, this team, to be a part of this locker room. I've always been a fan of the way Saints play football, and just to have that opportunity means a lot to me. And, more than anything, I just want to, take advantage of it and make the most of it.
More from Mathieu yesterday inside the Saints facility?
Well, I think talking to you guys is kind of sinking in, in the moment. Like I said, I'm grateful, I'm blessed, I'm very fortunate to be in this position, and like I said, I just want to make the most of it. I want to make my teammates better, and then I want to make our community better as well. So it's a great challenge, but I'm looking forward to it.
Gerald Garnett writes in from Northern Virginia, listening from Northern Virginia area. A lot of Saints and LSU fans out here. Shout out to Northern Virginia. Man, it's good to see where everybody's listening from. Jason Souls, Meridian, Mississippi, listens every day. Man, we appreciate that. This is good stuff, man. Tell us where you're listening from. More from Mathieu yesterday, courtesy of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, in particular the fans. I think this is probably the most exciting fan base, in all of football, really. And then defensively, I think that this defense, they just have an identity, that every time they take the field, they're going to hit everything that moves, and they're going to try to play team ball, and I think that's why, they've been a really successful unit, over the past, 5 years or so. And so I'm just hoping that I can, add to that. I'm hoping that I can, come in and be a leader and, make other guys' jobs, easier.
Think about if you're the defensive backs coach. Think about if you're Dennis Allen.
You just got another one.
Just how easy that guy makes your job. And none of those jobs are easy, but how much pressure that takes off of you. Mark Abair from Lafayette, lives in Arizona, listens every day. Timothy Ebarb, South Carolina. Great to hear from all of you, man. Thank you for starting your day with us here on the Jordy Culotta Show over at FM Digital Media. More from Mathieu from the New Orleans Saints facility yesterday.
Yeah, I think New Orleans has always been a great place. This has always been a great community. I think, 10, 11 years ago, when I was a 20-year-old kid, I think it was just important for me to kind of, remove myself from certain things, certain environments, so that I can work on myself to get myself to a certain point to where I can come back home and be responsible and be the person that I know I can be. So, it's been a great process. Like I said, I got great people that, that support me, that I lean on. And so I think without those people and without, my commitment to just trying to do things the right way, I think this opportunity wouldn't even be in front of me. So, like I said, I'm just grateful, to be here, to have this opportunity, and to, like I said earlier, man, to be able to get in the community and really inspire these kids to be better, give them some hope. I think that's what it's, ultimately, all about.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you could script it any better than that. As far as just an off-season signee and the impact that you hope he would make both on the franchise and the community. That's about as good as you can get. More from Mathieu.
You can hear the passion in his voice, like when he's talking. He's emotional.
Yeah. Look, and another thing is, he has such an impact on all these places that he's been, right? Like we said, Phoenix, Houston, Kansas City, Baton Rouge. Now he's home. All that passion that he's spread through other communities around the country, and, the good that he's done in those places for, the people and the kids and the youth and everybody attached to it. Now he's bringing that home with the experience of all of that and the passion and love that he's got for the area. It's awesome, man. Lindra Lewis, appreciate the show here every day in Phoenix. Will Burton, Shreveport every day on the way to work, then catch back up during lunch. Appreciate that, Willie. VP Chi Grass says Dallas. Cordell Music, Huntsville, Alabama. Donnie T, did I lose somebody? Big Irv says he's up in Franklin, Louisiana. LTZ says she's in Bro Bridge, living in San Antonio. Listen every single day. Man, it's good to hear from everybody. Thank you all for being out there. As Patrick Dorsey's listening in from Spring, Texas, Travis Nakan in Jackson, Mississippi. More from Mathieu yesterday. That was a great soundbite. That last one was I think kind of what we were trying to the picture that we were trying to paint this morning of of Mathieu and his life in the NFL and just the life that he's lived the last 10 years and now where he is and able to come home and play for the Saints. But here's more from Mathieu, courtesy of the Saints yesterday.
Yeah, I think ever since I've, really gotten comfortable and settled in, I've always tried to come back home, whether it be visiting family or doing things in the community. So I think at this point in my life, being able to come back home and see family and do things in the community, not just New Orleans, but Baton Rouge as well. I just look forward to doing those things. I look forward to being around, my people, our people. And so that's kind of like the reason, I've been, coming back, lately, especially with COVID and everything we've kind of been through the last 2 or 3 years. Just trying to be around family and people that really support you.
More from Mathieu yesterday at the Saints facility after he had inked his contract with New Orleans.
Well, I think coming into free agency, I've been fairly quiet. I've really been just kind of letting things play out. And, the Saints was really the only visit that I went on. I think from the get-go, I knew where I wanted to be. And from there, it's just all about everything kind of coming together and aligning. And so, like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of people that was praying for me, rooting for me. And it just feels good to see it all kind of come together. But I've kind of been manifesting this for a while now. A lot of former teammates know this, but just to have this opportunity means a lot to me.
Man, a lot of former teammates. What? Maybe
still kind of incredible to say out loud
that
Tyrann Mathieu's a Saint. It really is.
And it's not that much on the back end of his career, like he was talking about with who was it? I think
Eddie D.
Eddie D. Yes,
Eddie Daniels.
Familiar.
Yeah.
And he's like, Ed, I'm not old. Like y'all keep saying this. Like I feel like I'm just now getting there.
Yeah.
And it's good, like because you could have seen this kind
He's
of.
a young 30.
He's a young 30.
But I mean, as he pointed out, I mean he's had some surgeries. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I mean, his body is.
And the way he plays.
Yeah.
Stylistically, it's probably not a young 30, but now the way that he kind of thinks his way around defense, he's not the physical playmaker that he probably liked to play as, but he's just so smart on defense now that he can extend his career out, and he's able. It's not like he's a corner on an island where you can see him age, and it's like Champ Bailey when he signed with the Saints. Like, well, this is cooked. Like he's not going to be able to play. Tyrann Mathieu doesn't have that. He's not that old yet. He's not at the point where he's just joining the New Orleans Saints because, it's a good story. This will be fun. You'll see him in the black and gold, and that'll be that. This is him come to make a difference and be able to help a defense that's already very good, but this could make them elite. And then you'll see with Dennis Allen as the head coach, that's become more of a defensive-minded team like it has been the last couple of years.
And now you really start to think about the Saints and how good they could be going into the season. Like they've still got some moves to be left to make on the table. With it's possible they sign Jarvis Landry. I saw that Sony Michel is coming in this week for a visit. And while Michel, maybe hasn't adapted to the NFL like you thought the first rounder would have coming out of Georgia, to me, he would be a great complement to Alvin Kamara. Or, depending on how much Kamara, how much time he's going to miss, because, it doesn't really matter what happens in the court case, right? I know that the court hearings have been moved to August, but, you still have the NFL Code of Conduct thing that they're going to have to deal with. And, who's to say that the NFL doesn't come down and levy some type of 2, 4, 6 game, who knows, suspension on Kamara. But you got Sony Michel coming in later this week. But one of the interesting signings I think they made in undrafted free agency was Abram Smith. Have you read this guy's story from Baylor?
No.
This is nuts.
Well, this is the guy that number 7.
Well, the guy that they
played
linebacker or running back.
And I think he was the one that was on the field for who was Baylor playing that had a lot of implications that that was at the goal line.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, I think it was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. He was the one that was running to the goal line and they made the last final play, I believe.
He's a linebacker the first couple of years there. If nothing else, he's going to be a great specialist. But they need running back depth, right? They've got Mark Ingram is around. He's on the depth chart, but he's at the back end of his career. You obviously are looking to bring more people in for Kamara. Is Tony Jones Jr. Still on the roster as well? But now Abram Smith, pretty interesting guy. I mean, he's a guy that played linebacker first couple of years in college, then you move him to running back. And I mean, last year he carried it 257 times, rushed for 1,600 yards. He had 12 touchdowns. I know the Big 12 plays zero defense, but I mean, those types of numbers and that type of workload at that position after, transitioning positions after, being stuck in the middle of the defensive field for the first couple of years of college is pretty impressive. I mean, just if nothing else, the versatility of Abram Smith. But that's an area that they're probably going to have to maybe make some moves on. Interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how that Sony Michel visit goes with the Saints later this week. But I mean, defensively, and I know we talked about this a little bit, but I mean, after you now have a chance to digest that Tyrann Mathieu is going to be playing safety, alongside Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, PJ Williams, and Marcus Mays, I mean, damn. I mean, that is in a passing league, in a passing conference, in a passing division, that features Tom Brady. I know Atlanta and Carolina are still trying to figure it out at quarterback, but I mean, with Brady alone, with those four safeties, I mean, that's going to be a hell of a matchup. It's going to be fun to see how Dennis Allen uses that versatility with those guys and their skill set. I mean, that's for what they do in the league. That's four of the best safeties at their specific role. I mean, think about it. I mean, if you're now allowing Marcus Mays just to play center field, he's done that as good as really anyone over the last 3 seasons. I believe the only comp would probably be Marcus Williams, the Saint, that signed with Baltimore, of a guy that can guard, play center field. His ability to break on the ball and just break and pass, PBUs, I think is kind of where he feels most comfortable. PJ Williams is kind of the guy that can do it all, right? So, I mean, he's kind of your Swiss Army knife as far as if you need him to come up and play run, you need him to play more back end, you need to cover him a tight end, make him cover a tight end. I think he can do all that. And then you've got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, just to kind of, confuse and use their range and athleticism and, Dennis Allen's ability to show and confuse pre-snap. I just think, man, we ain't even talked about Cam Jordan, Demario Davis. On all levels of their defense, they just got such good players, leadership, and motivation. I mean, all these guys want to win. They want rings. So I think that the Saints, it's going to be fun to see if the offense needs, what their learning curve is going to be. Can they catch up? Can they, can they get on the same page? Is Jameis going to be able to kind of, get back from the injury? But, with Olave and Mike Thomas working out, things and signs point in a really good direction. I just feel really good about where the Saints are right now. I mean, obviously the Mathieu news gives you a high.
Right.
But, they're still in contention for Jarvis. It feels like they're figuring the things out at that wide receiver spot. It feels like they've made the moves to get the second guy and take the pressure off of Thomas. And, by all accounts, they believe that Penning, the other first-round pick, can step in and play offensive line. So they've shored up a lot of holes.
Yeah, they assessed so many needs that you felt like the Saints needed to kind of, I guess, look at and adjust and make the proper decision when it comes to free agency. It's not something that the Saints do very often, it feels like. It feels like you can always kind of go through the roster where they've been so hamstrung by cap numbers and not having draft picks. And now it seems like they were able to pretty much address every need that they had in the offseason. And I don't think it really comes down to if Jameis is going to be healthy, because I feel like he is. He's rehabbing. You saw he posted some more of his infamous workout videos, so he's out there doing the way he likes to train. But I think it more comes down to Pete Carmichael and what the Saints offense looks like with a post-Sean Payton, because that was something you could always hang your hat on is Sean's going to be able to score you points if he needs to. He's always been able to kind of have a very good pulse of what the offense needs to do in order to win football games. You saw that last year. But now in the post-Sean Payton era, I'm more interested to see what just the offense looks like without Drew Brees and Sean Payton.
I agree, but Pete Carmichael there is
Right.
really.
I just don't know. I don't have a good read on Pete Carmichael because I don't know how much he got to do. It feels like Sean was very hands-on with the offense, obviously. So he feels unproven to me, even though I know he's been the Saints offensive coordinator for a long time.
Remember our friends over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. They're number 1 and the number 2 business. They specialize in all works of plumbing, industrial, commercial, residential. They are experienced carpenters, too, on staff and plumbers on staff. So if you need an industrial remodel, they can help you out. Remember, no website from our friends over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. Just the phone number, and that goes directly to the owner, Jude, 225-776-2431. 225-776-2431 is the phone number. Mention the Jordy Culotta Show, and you get 15% off of the bottom line. Not a service in particular, whatever your need is from Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. If you just mention the Jordy Culotta Show, they'll take 15% off of that bottom line for you. 225-776-2431. 225-776-2431. Hopefully, if you're a consistent listener and you're in the area, you've got that stored into your phone. And he'll work all around the greater Baton Rouge area. They're located and they are headquartered out of West Baton Rouge Parish, but they've got 2 trucks a day working the roads of East Baton Rouge. So they're always over here with a presence. If you need something done today, give them a call. 225-776-2431. 225-776-2431. Our friends over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works, number 1 in a number 2 business. Mention the Jordy Culotta Show and you get 15% off. The Carpool Queen is here. She's navigated Baton Rouge traffic.
I sure did.
How was it this morning?
It wasn't bad this morning. Oh, man, I missed the memo on wearing the fleur-de-lis shirt, though. Y'all look good.
I just found
Dang it.
this on my chair.
Oh, shoot. I think
just
mine's
saw
in my
Shout out to
car.
Aaron.
I'll have to
I
get.
gave
I know,
you
those
yours
are
yesterday.
Awesome. I know, it's in my car.
And I left mine in my car, and then I saw him wearing his, so I was like, let's all wear them.
Nice. Dang it.
Oh,
I'll have
okay.
to go put it on.
Shout out
then.
Fleur de Lis. Speaking of NOLA, that's where they're based out of.
That's
so
right.
interesting times for them. I'm sure
Man,
they're happy.
I missed a hell of a first 45 minutes. I mean, I didn't miss it. I was listening to it, just kind of
Yeah.
sweating all the way here.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. That just makes me nervous.
Which part?
When
Conflict.
you rant and conflict and.
Well, there's no. I don't think there
No,
was
no.
conflict. I mean, I don't. There was no conflict.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I understand what you're saying. You know, I mean, but I mean that's just the nature of the business.
Yeah. It is.
You know, and I mean, really, when it comes down to it, we all kind of have to have each other's back. I'm non-competitive in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, like, hey, there's no competition level to it.
Well, nobody
that,
competes with you, Jordy. You're the best.
No,
So.
Oh,
come
the
on
ba-
now.
well,
No,
Lil
but-
J,
but-
maybe.
But what we're saying, but what I'm saying is, I think if other shows thrive, that's good for us because
Yeah.
it gets people talking about the medium. It gets
Right.
people talking about that there's options out there, man. You don't have to. I mean, the days of dialing in and pushing, dials on your
Presetting your
dashboard is it feels very long gone.
It does.
You know, I mean. And we do this consistently every single day. This is our mode of living, right? I mean, we are building a business out of this, and we believe in it, and we see the people out there that are doing it, and it's very. I mean, look at Draymond Green. I mean, Draymond Green called an emergency podcast when he got thrown out of game 1, and it's got over 1 million hits. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? He's his own media entity. Right? I mean, like TNT has signed him to a little side gig just to kind of peel some of his viewership for them.
Well,
I mean,
and-
they've kind of recognized what is happening, the transition. You know, Katie and I had a 2-hour meeting yesterday with executives from a local television company that we're about to get into business with and really looking forward to it. And they understand it. I mean, the dynamics of those businesses are changing at a rapid rate. I mean, to see, who we spoke to yesterday, the now resources that they gear towards digital properties.
Yeah. And if you don't get it, you're falling behind. And they
Absolutely.
Get it.
And they really understand it. And they are very progressive in that space. And I cannot wait to announce what we have coming up with, how we're trying to extend our reach onto different platforms, right? I mean, we love the digital space where we are. YouTube, we count on all of you being here every day, and as you have shown and given us the feedback wherever you are, from Northern Virginia to San Antonio to Dallas, and I mean, it's
Japan.
awesome, man. I mean, I saw one from
Panama.
yeah, I saw one from and I also saw one
Like Panama
from
City or like
No,
Panama?
Panama,
No.
the country. Or is it a country?
Yeah.
I don't know what it
Re-
is,
yeah,
but Panama, not
Dang.
Panama City.
Yes.
Yeah, we're huge in Panama.
It was a daily listener, but I'm trying to find it. There was another one here who was listening internationally
Japan.
and says that they listened every day. Yeah, I mean, I saw Japan, but there was more. But
Yeah.
but what I'm just saying is the reach of this is incredible, right? I mean, like when we were on the radio dial, right? You're prohibited by listening areas. We had to sign with other radio stations to get into other markets. You know, for instance, when we had the Baton Rouge local morning show, we wanted to extend our reach into New Orleans, so we had to simulcast and agree with a local ESPN affiliate down there that picked up the show and ran it every day. And I imagine they still have that agreement intact. And, we're still looking to extend our reach from where we are here. We have kind of settled ourselves here in this space, and luckily and very appreciatively, you have all found us and come here every day, because that is what this business model is built on. You, the eyeballs, the clicks, the viewership, the likes, the shares, the comments, the interaction. All of that is how we succeed in this space. And the more people that are doing that, and the more people that are talking about that stuff and doing it at a very, high level, that's bringing credibility and bringing, people that trust in the space and in the medium, the better for everybody. I mean, it's more exposure and more people that are opened up to see, oh, this is an option. I didn't even know that this existed. I mean, I still run into people, go on sales calls, sit with people in sales calls or at lunches, wherever we are, out and about with little Jay at his basketball tournament on a weekend. Where are you now, man? I don't catch you on the radio anymore. Where are you? We're on YouTube. What? Mm-hmm. How do I get YouTube and listen to you? It's easy. Just man, look at that. It's just
scan this
still
QR code.
Still, people are learning that this is an option.
Uh-huh.
And
learning how to operate YouTube.
As we are as well.
And look, I didn't mean for that to come off as personal, because truth be told, I've never met the host of that podcast. I've never met the host. We've traded a couple of messages, but we've never, so I don't know him personally. Mm-hmm. And I didn't mean that as a personal attack. It wasn't conflicting. I mean, it was just, I spoke to both people at the heart of what the report allegedly was. You know what I mean? And that to me is what got me in this bit, because that'll shatter credibility. Mm-hmm. When you say I'm allegedly reporting, well, then you're not doing it. You're throwing BS up against the wall. And whether you're reporting what somebody else is saying, you got to point that out. You know what I mean? If you want to jump on the back of whatever that alleged report is, you got to say, hey, look, this is a college kid who's allegedly reporting that this is out there. And you can put that out there. But, once those subjects heard that, and, we have the relationships with both of them. We spoke to Will Wade and we spoke to Adam Miller yesterday in the heat of it as it was going on. And both of them were pissed about it. And in return, it kind of annoyed and aggravated me, because it affects our business. And it affects what we've got going on. And it affects what we're all, not just here at FM Digital Media, everybody in this digital space is trying to create. The reputation of, forget traditional media. You know what I mean? Like, you live on your phone. Exactly. F them digital media. That's where it comes from, right? I mean, that's the origination of the company's name. F them. F traditional media. You don't need them. Come live in this digital world, because you already are here. Right? I mean, you're living off of this device. So why wouldn't it be just 2 clicks away to say, oh, look, there's the Culotta Show. There's mic'd up drinking margaritas at 4 o'clock this afternoon on Cinco de Mayo. I got to go find these guys. So,
speaking of,
I hate that it came off like
Jared,
that.
Boom, texted. He's watching.
Aww.
From the shirts. Where are we?
Bam. Because I didn't mean it personally, really. I mean, it didn't mean to come off like that, and it just, we're trying to create trails here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're kind of digging places that don't, it's still got a lot of brush, still got a lot of trees that haven't been cut down yet. There's no roads here. I mean, we're still trying to bush hog stuff.
I love all these analogies. It's a landscaping day.
Flying the plane.
We're not flying a plane today. No, we're
we're
landscaping. We're bush hogging.
Hey Bears.
It's awesome.
Thank you,
Oh,
Blake.
Bear's lawn, yeah.
Yeah,
Have y'all
lawn and
ever bush
maintenance.
hogged?
Yeah. Bear's lawn and maintenance. No, I have.
Not been on a
I've
bush hog?
steered far away from that life.
That
have
is-
been
And
on
I've made a
bush
lot of
hog.
personal decisions to not end up
Have you ever stood
there.
over a jackhammer?
No, I would
Ooh,
though,
no,
just
I
for
have not.
fun.
That will
I know
make
it's not
you-
fun, but I know
that will
it.
make
That's
you follow your
scary.
passion.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Find your passion.
I think
It's not
bush hog got
jackhammering.
Whatever you love, you better put your heart and soul into it, because let me tell you, 10 years of doing this and it ain't gonna fly, bro. I mean, teeth chattering, dude. Like, I mean, 3 minutes in, I was like, is this for real?
How long is this? Oh, you
I
just
mean,
started.
you got 8 hours. You got 8 hours of this, bro, and you get 20-minute lunch that you got to eat on location. You know
On
what
the
I mean?
jackhammer.
Like,
Choose your food
keep
for
that
you.
jackhammer running during lunch.
Oh,
I mean, it was.
Cody said I used to date a girl nicknamed Bush Hog.
Wow.
Did you jackhammer her?
I think that's why the adulting spammer came on, because he said Bush Hog.
No. What are the keywords?
Something triggers them.
I
Bush
don't
hog
know.
has to be a keyword, right?
Jackhammer.
Yeah, that too.
The old jackhammer.
All the
technique.
manual
Jackhammer.
labor terms.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, everybody's got that one job in life where you're like, bro, all these people that have been telling me, you better get your life in line, bruh. Because,
Get your
you
shit-
know,
yeah.
I mean, what was the line in Caddyshack? The world needs ditch diggers too. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's good honest work if you want to do it.
son
A
of
lot
a
of people
bitch,
enjoy
man.
that though. It's
Yes,
mindless work.
absolutely.
It's mindless physical activity work.
No.
But for
David
somebody
says
like,
all the time,
but for
sometimes
somebody
he wants
maybe
to
like,
dig
but for
ditches.
a successful ditch digger, they probably were like in some suit and tie. Were like, I got to get out of here.
That's what I'm saying. That's
You
what
know I
David
mean? Like,
says.
that was their moment.
Yes.
You know, where you were like, I got to find my passion. I can't
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
You know, because I couldn't live the suit life.
No, but I couldn't dig ditches either. Really
Exactly.
fell backwards
Absolutely.
into this. This is what
Absolutely.
I needed.
Maybe after years of living the suit life, you could dig ditches though,
Maybe you could.
or bush
Yeah.
hog.
Maybe you could.
I could like work with concrete. That seems very soothing.
Laying
How we say?
concrete.
I mean,
That sounds
y'all
promising,
two are
boy.
really the ones. You better find your passion.
Look,
You
I
better
have
figure it
friends-
out. Y'all still have the opportunity to stand over a jackhammer for 8 hours a day.
I have friends that work in construction, so I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not with that life.
No, man.
Yeah.
And like, I come from construction. Like my lineage.
Yeah, no
like
way.
my
The Italian?
grandparents.
No,
Frankly,
yeah.
absolutely. Pick up your trash, make
union,
your house.
huh?
What do you want?
Yeah.
I can build you a house. I can get you trash. What do you want? Huh?
Sometimes you pick some trash, but somehow you have more after. I don't know what happened.
Right. But I mean, like, construction for me was always used as a form of punishment. So I never bought in. You know what I mean? Like, if I ever got in trouble around the house, if I got in trouble at school, you know, like, if I got suspended from school and like had days off, like I was going to the construction site.
Yeah, you're not playing Xbox.
Right. Like that's what I thought I was going to do the first couple. You know what I mean? I was like, days off.
Hell yeah, no school.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, holler at me. You know, my dad was like, yeah,
I am.
on that new hotel we're building off a sharp road, buddy. Put your boots on. And I mean, so I was like, dude, I couldn't screw a light bulb in today. You know what I mean? Like from a construction standpoint, my whole family is advanced. Like, I mean, they're great with, they could just build shit. I mean, like,
Yeah, we didn't
if
hang
you
any
give
of
me,
these TVs.
If you give me the YouTube tutorial,
Ugh.
the instructions, and the box, I'm still calling
can't-
somebody.
Still not doing it.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
paying the extra 50 or 100 to get the. I've asked every, you know, like when I bought little Jay a swing set when he was like 5, I wanted the model. You know what I mean? Like I wanted the one that was already put together. I was like, how much extra? Just.
Well, how are you going to get it home? It doesn't matter.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. I'll pay somebody else to pick that up. You know what I mean?
Those
Like
are
just.
the worst thing on earth to put together, though. Those swing sets, the ones you're talking about.
Oh, it's the
Those are
worst.
awful.
Well, I mean, the first time you open the box and it's just like, I mean, dumping stuff out, you're
Yeah.
like, no, forget
It's
this. bro.
overwhelming. It
Forget
takes
this. I
way
mean, my
more
kid
than
would get
one
hurt.
person. Yeah.
Oh,
You know, like if
yeah,
I put together the swing
yeah.
set, he'd probably go for a first, you know,
Swing.
swing back, and I mean, he'd probably look at the local.
Who did it for you? Who helped you?
My brother-in-law.
Oh, just 2 of y'all? Just
No,
two of
my
y'all?
brother-in-law and my dad, and I
Okay,
was
about to
inside.
say. Okay.
I mean, the draft's on. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
I got work.
I cover sports.
Yeah.
I'm working.
You know what I
to
mean?
watch
Like,
this.
I don't know what you want from me here.
Yeah, I'm big on the supervising. Whenever something there's a project going on, I always slither into the supervisor role.
Right.
What do you need? Here's that. Like, I don't know the difference between a Phillips and a
Hold the flashlight.
flathead.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely
here's both
not.
screwdrivers.
Absolutely
Here's a
not.
light. Do you want a drink? Here, I can do all that stuff. I'll take care of you. Make sure you enjoy it a little bit. Who built the treehouse?
Yeah. Who did in mine?
Uh-huh.
Dad.
That's
Yeah.
the swing
Yeah,
set
absolutely.
thing, right? Or is that different?
No, that was
Oh, yeah,
different.
You had a different
Right,
thing.
right,
Okay.
right.
'Cause I think my dad built our treehouse, and he was like, "That was the biggest waste of my goddamn time. You played on it once."
Right.
You're like,
Yeah.
And it was like, well, you know, like
Yeah,
kids
and
have
that was the
treehouses.
thing about the swing set.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know?
What are you gonna do with it? You don't really want this.
Right.
Go to a friend's house that has a swing set.
Just run
Make
by
some
it.
friends.
Just go
Yeah.
run by it. You know what I mean? All I got to do is weed eat around it.
Right. Now it's just in the way.
Right.
And then you're gonna grow up and want to play football, and it's gonna be in the way then.
Well, then you can
Shout out
move.
to our guy Tom Granning. We got our we fooded
Saved
up.
us.
Yeah, we fooded up yesterday. Noah has been buried into the bowl of snacks over the last 24 hours.
Look at
Stewie
our growing boy back
is
there.
I don't know if that's a pistachio or a gray hair in his beard.
Oh my gosh, poor Stewie. Do you put product in it that makes it shiny?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Really?
It's just naturally
product.
shiny.
Damn, Stewie.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Just
Good,
good looking,
man.
natural. Thanks.
Just naturally good looking.
All right, BJ Ojulari is going to be here at 8:30 this morning, and we will continue our discussion around LSU spring football. And BJ is a guy that's really set to have an explosive money year, right? His junior season. They kind of tinkered with BJ and put him out in space. They put him in some different spots. We'll ask him where he feels comfortable. It was pretty impressive to see him in some of the drills they had him working through early on in spring, where he was almost kind of used in the drills as a defensive back. I mean, he was backpedaling, he was shifting his hips, he was kind of flipping his hips and going from a backpedal into a sprint. He was breaking on the ball, he was catching the ball. I mean, it was pretty, for as impressive as Mason Smith is, moving around out there and catching punts and all that stuff that we saw. BJ Ojulari, I thought from a physical standpoint, was as impressive as anybody that we saw out there over the 15 practices. And I know Noah, Stewie, and the crew was out there a lot more than I was. But fellas, I don't know if you can speak to this. No, I know you and I had a discussion about him one day when there was a isolated piece of video that you guys got on him where he was backpedaling and breaking on the ball, and the coaches were really coaching him up as somebody that it looks like they may kind of use him in more space this year rather than just tell him, hey man, see ball, hit ball, go get the quarterback.
Yeah, I think his role is going to be very different than what we've seen the past 2 years. I mean, we've seen his hand in the dirt. Now he's going to be stand-up, outside linebacker, not a defensive end. And they're going to mix it up, and they're going to drop him back in coverage. They're going to put him in positions to really show his full athletic ability, which is something we haven't fully gotten to see because he's had his hand in the dirt. He's been rushing the passer. We're still going to be able to see that, obviously. He's still going to get after the quarterback, but he's going to be able to drop back, help in the run game, whenever they get to the second level. And then, those little swing passes that quarterbacks might throw to a running back, he might be dropped back and covering that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
No, it would be very impressive. Stewie, you see anything from him this year that make it look any different from what he did
I
last
think they like Noah said. I think they'll use him in like a lot of different ways. But I think one way they might use him is like stand him up in the middle of the defense, and like just like put pressure on the quarterback to not be able to identify.
Let him get at you from different angles.
Right, because if they just put him on the edge and let him drop and let him, teams will just identify him and know where to slide their line or where to put the running back going out on the swing. But if they put him in the middle of the defense and let him move around more often than not, they won't be able to identify him and they won't know where he's coming from. And if he get rushed up the middle and get a matchup on a center or a guard, it's going to be terrible for any offense.
We'll ask him where he feels most comfortable and what he's thought of the position. I guess not change, but just
Addition.
I think, he got more
Just put more on his
responsibility.
plate, yeah.
Which
I mean,
he deserves.
I agree. Obviously, Coach O was big on the 4-3 defense, and that kind of pigeonholes him into one thing. 4-3, go play defensive end, rush the passer. He's clearly more athletic than that, so you kind of get a more multiple defense, allow him to lurk around the field and become somebody that they have to find every single play, makes the defense much more, and it kind of makes it advantage defense in my mind with somebody that is projected to be a top 10 pick.
I don't know if the secret has ever been on BJ. I think the secret's always been out on him. Even through recruiting, LSU knew that they had a gem, had landed somebody. I mean, if you just looked at his bloodline alone, I mean, his brother is a is now a starting defensive end for the New York Giants and really a playmaker for them, and was at Georgia while BJ was being recruited. So even in recruiting, I remember Coach O would say routinely that BJ Ojulari is going to be an all-SEC guy very early on and possibly be an All-American and a top 10 pick. So I think LSU has always known what they have had in Ojulari, but this year feels like could be an almost coming out party for him. I think, everybody has said his name.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, when you say coming out party, people are familiar with who BJ Ojulari is and what he means to the LSU defense. I think he'll start making plays this year that people are going to say, oh, wow, I didn't know he could do that. You know what I mean? I think his first step, his ability to get to the quarterback has been super impressive over his first 2 years. And he's shown that he's one of the best to do it. I mean, Kuiper and McShay have him in the top 10. I mean, as far as like guys to look out for in this draft class, BJ Ojulari, and has been in the top 10. I mean, like Kuiper's way too early top 10 of the 2022 draft. He had BJ Ojulari in that top 10 very early on. So, like I said, this isn't going to be some you learn who he is. You find out who number 8 at LSU is. People know who he is. I think that when you see him play, you're just going to say, wow, I didn't know that he had this entire skill set.
Yeah, the whole package, especially when you put him on the same line as Mason Smith, Jaquelin Roy, all those guys, what Jacoby and Guillory eating up space. Like this is having Mekhi Wingo, which whenever he came in studio and with having them kind of talk off air about how, the flowers that he was getting from the offensive line. It was impressive to see, like, no, he can play. Yeah. And they don't want to give each other compliments like that. He was like, no, he's held a block. And so I think you put all of those guys in conjunction with a defensive line, that's going to be, obviously, we know it's LSU's strength, but it might be better than we saw last year.
It will be interesting to see how that defensive line, because a lot like we talk about the New Orleans Saints, and we're talking about the Saints and really the identity of New Orleans. I don't know if it's just because of the head coach. I think over the last couple of years, you started to see the identity of the Saints kind of transition from this high-flying offense with Peyton and Breeze to more of this ground-punishing, run-stuffing, playmaking defense, right? Like for a consistent time there over the last couple of years. Peyton, Dennis Allen, and that defensive front, were the feistiest of run defenses in the league. They would shut it down. They would routinely lead the league in fewest rush yards allowed. So I feel like this is very similar to what LSU is going to look and feel like for this season, and maybe for the early stretch of Brian Kelly's tenure here, where he's trying to navigate and find who the right quarterback is, what the style of his offense is going to be. What the style of his defense is going to be. You heard everybody defensively who came through here. You better be able to tackle. You better be able to bring people to the ground. And their front seven, their defensive line that features BJ Ojulari and guys like Mekhi Wingo and Jaquelin Roy and Mason Smith and Jacoby and Guillory and all these cats that you keep hearing their names just rattled off. And even on that second level with, Mike Jones, and you bring in Harold Perkins, and you got guys at that level that you trust, Micah Baskerville, and even guys that are coming and seem like you're going to be tough to keep off the field like Greg Penn. You still got some question marks on the back end of the defense, but you got a front seven that's going to be hell to plan against. And with the emphasis on tackling and bringing people to the ground in a physical style, I just feel like LSU is becoming steadily more of a tougher out each time you kind of figure them out and talk to them. And if a guy like Sevyn Banks and even a guy like Mekhi Gardner-Johnson, who we talked to here on set that was very impressive, can kind of hit the ground running at defensive back, and they'll get Converse back from the injury, the Oklahoma State transfer here pretty shortly, and I heard Will Campbell say, I believe it was off air when we asked Will about guys that have stood out. He said he mentioned Jarick Bernard, Converse is his name, as a guy that even though he's injured has really made an impact on the guys as he's putting in the work He's earning their trust.
Well, he said physically he came in and he was like, "Who is that?"
What about Miles Frazier saying that Will Campbell is like leading all of the scores for the offensive linemen that they're
That's
keeping
crazy.
track? That is crazy. That's crazy. I mean, like because I
Boy,
mean,
don't know how to take care of no dog.
but I mean, it is still because they have grown men on that offensive. They've got like 21 and 22-year-olds. You know, they've got like upper class guys. And to me, I really don't care how bad of a badass you are at 18. I just think that the difference between 22 and 18, 21 and 18 is significantly different.
It's fighting your big brother.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like fighting it's like that point where you fight your dad and you're like he's still able to kind of steer you, and he's still
Break
like
your nose.
it's like telling you, like you're not
You ain't
here
ready
yet,
yet.
bro. You're not ready yet.
Little piss and vinegar.
But Will Campbell, that is a yo. You know what I mean? Like, damn. I mean, he's coming in there and just
Moving weight.
cleaning up.
Can't even grow a beard.
No, he doesn't.
I don't
Baby
think
face
so.
killer.
He's got the babiest of faces.
Babiest.
I mean,
Probably loves that helmet.
yeah. I love how he wears like the wide receiver's face mask.
Yeah, he does. He's wearing number 3 on his visit.
He's got like the chin. He's got like the chin guard.
Yeah.
He's got like the
He'll have a
the pull up.
visor,
He's got
no doubt.
I mean, he's got Kamara's face
Yeah,
mask.
I want to be an athlete. I am an athlete. Put 225 on that bar. I'll do it 30 times.
Who was the one that spat taped there? Was it Ed Ingram?
Yeah, Ingram did the spats and the
Eesh.
armbands. Hey,
Second round pick.
second round pick.
Joke's on us.
Until you tape up your cleats, makes you look cool.
Oh, just to make it look cool.
Yeah, I mean it's
It
supposed
has
to help with
served
your
no
ankles.
purpose?
It's like taping your ankles
On the
but I
outside.
mean, you really have the interior. You got like under the sock taped.
Oh.
So the spat is just for looks,
look
but it
clearly-
is.
yeah.
It is iconic.
It is awesome.
It is iconic. Best spat tape ever. Walter Payton.
Ooh, I would probably go more my era, like Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor was a great spat tape.
Yeah, because
Great
he would.
spat.
I gotta see pictures.
Yeah,
of all
this
that.
is
spat.
way in the weeds of like
It is.
football accessories, but yeah, we
Yeah,
both
that is.
have a. This is a soft spot in my heart for these things.
Yeah.
Because they put in the time, they put in the care. Like Sean Taylor would put different wraps
Yeah.
of tape and make it different colors. And he
I
would
thought
get
the coolest thing
fined.
that Taylor did was he would
Tape his face mask.
You know how bad of an ass you got to be to tape your face mask?
Why?
That
It's like a
dude,
rite of
Face
passage.
mask.
because he looked like a absolute killer.
Really?
Yes, he was the first one to put like the
The tent,
visor.
Oh.
He had the Oakley.
rainbow visor.
He had the Oakley
yeah.
like limousine tint visor. You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, and still couldn't see anything. But like he had the limousine tint visor. He had the gold teeth coming out. He had the dreads coming out of his helmet, and he would like. He would have the armbands perfect, the wrist taped. He'd have the socks pulled up just right, and then he would have the spat, like the tape on the colored cleat. Like when he was at Washington, he looked.
Jeez. How long did it take
He
him
had
to get ready for a game?
the dark visor in college.
Oh, at Miami.
Oh, yeah,
Number
that was before they
26.
got.
Yeah.
There's a shot of him, a solo shot of him standing back, waiting to return a punt at Miami, and he looks like the Predator. I mean, he looks like the prototypical college football player. Like if you could script one, if you could draw one, like I would be like, give me Sean T 2000.
Every time.
I mean, like I want Sean Taylor just because of the way he looked, and then he got on the field and he was the baddest dude of them all. Like he was the baddest amongst freaks. He was the freakiest.
Well, you have to be if you're going to do all that.
Exactly.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
If you didn't, that would be absolutely
Exactly.
terrible.
Exactly.
He would rock the
Finding
finger
photos.
tape too. All time move.
Rest in peace, Sean Taylor.
Hmm.
What a tragic loss, man. Tragic loss.
But he would take the fines too whenever he got to the NFL.
Yeah.
They would fine him every time. Him
It's
and
like
Clinton
Kamara.
Portis. He's like, I don't give a shit.
I mean, I think Kamara
This is
is.
part of who I am.
Wait, what
To
would
me-
they fine him for?
Because the NFL doesn't want you to stand out at all. They don't want you to have.
So
Is
any-
that the
do you
best
get, like,
picture you can
separate
find of
fines
Sean
for
T?
each
You can't
thing?
find a full
No,
body
I just
shot
found,
of him.
I just found this one real quick. But no, they got. I mean, there's
Yes.
it's porn.
Look at the do-rag underneath the
Yeah.
helmet.
Do you get one big fine even if you do like all the things, or are they like
No,
separate?
they
Yeah,
they
separate.
find you individually for each thing. So if
For
your
each
socks aren't
thing?
right, fine.
Oh,
If your cleats aren't right,
jeez.
fine. If
Can
you
you just
spat,
take it every time?
yeah, if
Shirt
you,
untucked.
Fine.
Fine.
Visor,
How much are the
fine.
fines?
Different
like,
scene.
ballpark?
I mean-
is it a lot?
Probably cost $25,000 for an illegal cleat.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Camaro
pays like
Camaro.
50K
I think. Remember the Christmas
his
cleats that
cleats.
Camaro wear? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that cost him like
That
$50K.
cost- that really? They
Yeah.
fine him for that?
But I mean, like
That's too
Adidas
bad.
pays that.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like if you're the shoe company, you say we take the hit.
Okay.
Because everybody in America is still talking about the Christmas cleats.
Right, and
Well,
then
yeah, I even remember the Christmas cleats.
and then I think Camara matched the fine in Christmas donations. So he was like,
That's nice.
Gerald
And it made
Jr.
the NFL
says
look awful.
Deion Sanders was the best dressed on the field. He was.
he made
Deion
sure
went
of
through
that.
this. Deion Sanders went through this era where he would wear like the baggy undershirt, right? And Deion wore the headband around the neck. He left one strap on his chin strap unstrapped. But before the baggy undershirt,
He had the towel.
He had the towel, but then he had the armbands
Armbands.
all the way up.
And he would lay all of his stuff out. Obviously, everybody knows this, like
Yeah.
before the game. But he would do armbands, socks, towel, and make like a fake Deion Sanders as to what it was going to look like, and he would lay it out in front of his locker.
Right.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah,
had
just getting
and had
dressed.
He's awesome.
He had the greatest cleats when he was with San Francisco. His cleats with San Francisco that they designed for prime time
I didn't have prime time on him.
were my favorite cleat of all time.
Were they like gold?
It had they were like white with they had like the red Velcro Nike check over the top, and then like the black and gold accents on it. But it was just such a sick cleat.
So would he get fined for that?
I'd imagine that Deion, racked up fines during his time, for sure.
Happily.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure like people like Nike would pay that stuff too, because
Yeah.
Nike is trying to promote new products just by throwing them on Deion's feet, because they know everybody in the country is going to look, every camera when they show up to cover the Cowboys, cover, Deion is just, I mean, they're looking at what he's wearing.
Right. Like I'm sure people do to us.
Hey, look at these shirts. What are you talking about? They
Dead
did-
Soxy.
That's right.
Dead Soxy.
Tell 'em about 'em,
Don't
Katie.
forget that Mother's Day deal. $70 for a box of 20 no-shows using the code Jordy, and 35% off site-wide still using the code Jordy. Dead Soxy, SOXY.com. Don't forget Mother's Day,
Sunday.
Sunday.
Knock it out today so you don't forget.
Knock it out.
Cordell Music, the headband around the neck was an accident,
Yeah.
which makes it even better.
Oh.
Let's get
Wow.
a picture.
Well, what do you mean? Was it every time?
Look at
There was
Sean
just one
T.
time he had that?
In the open field, in the rain against
Wrist
Florida
tape.
State.
Finger tape.
Oh, I see the finger
Pacifier
tape.
mouthpiece before anybody was doing it.
Tough to keep the fingers taped, too.
It is.
Well, I mean,
got to do it in the rain.
That helps, though, right? To tape your fingers.
Absolutely.
Nah, grip.
They get all wet. It doesn't really help, but
yeah.
it does look very cool.
It does.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a tire grip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Take a little stick. A little
Little
stick
stick.
on the
Little stick,
outside.
yeah,
Stick.
little stick.
We'll stick.
Huh, like pine tar.
Yeah.
Um,
Spider tag.
Donnie T, scary how much attention to detail y'all pay to. I mean, when I was a young fan, I was so into the way that athletes looked.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you gotta have the
I
swag.
still look at
Yeah.
shoes when I'm like
Yeah.
sitting at the game. I'm still looking to see
Oh,
what people
yeah.
are
Yes.
wearing.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And that's,
the
how you-
first thing I look at when I look at people.
Yeah.
most of
And
the time.
Kamara,
What are
I
you
think,
wearing?
has taken the crown. I think he's probably
I agree. He's the
looks
swaggiest
the
of them.
coolest of anybody in the
does.
NFL.
I just didn't know. it
Jalen
wasn't
Ramsey's got a
necessary.
great look.
Odell. It's always Odell to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Odell always comes
Odell.
with it.
He does.
Yeah,
Chrome
he played
heart
with
cleats,
he played with
Richard
a watch
Mille.
on.
He does.
Like, I mean, it's too much. He just does too much.
The
Yeah.
Joker cleats.
Yeah,
The visor and warm ups.
the Joker gloves. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like it?
no,
I
I love
Oh,
it.
okay. I thought you were saying you didn't
No,
like it.
it's-
It's fun, huh? I just didn't know. I thought those things made a difference. I thought the taping
no,
and all
no,
that made a big
Purely
difference.
aesthetic.
I didn't know it
Confidence.
was Purely.
Who did you try to
fashion.
dress yourself after?
I mean, I would like to have done more Sean Taylor, but
Sure.
I wasn't good enough. But
Sure.
I settled in on the era of probably Tyrann Mathieu with like the double wristbands where you would go to, but they wouldn't let us wear wristbands in high school because they thought you'd put like tacks in it or something.
Ugh.
So
Wait,
I'd kind of
what?
made my own
Why?
little thing. I would do
Ugh.
wrist
Yeah, you
tape,
couldn't wear the wristband
small
over your
wristband
elbow.
on like the forearm. I made it look all
Why
right.
would you put
Yeah.
tacks in it?
Visor.
Visor?
Oh yeah, back pad.
Wow.
It was big to like show the back pad in
Yeah,
high
for
school.
sure.
And so that's what
The
we
Reggie
did.
Bush.
And then I snagged an extra decal from a helmet and put it on the back pad.
Ah,
Same.
It looked
nice
good.
play.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Nice
you.
play.
I got
Yeah.
yelled at all the goddamn time
I need
for
to
it.
see
Just
a
about how you
photo of
looked?
you in
Yeah,
this.
I don't care. Put me
We-
out there.
Could you play?
Yeah, absolutely. A
You
little
have
small.
pictures of yourself
Yeah,
dressed
for
out
sure.
like this?
Yeah, we had like a team photographer.
Yeah, I need to see that.
I wasn't the best on the field, but I was out there.
Yeah, I was long sleeves. I went.
Oof.
I did
Dry
the
fit?
Jamal Adams
Dewey with
thing.
he went with
baggy?
like the baggy.
The
yeah.
baggy long
Oh,
sleeve.
wow.
Baggy
Heady play.
long sleeve. Sometimes I
better be able to hit.
LSU gloves.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Really?
Yeah,
You could do that?
Stewie, what
Yeah.
year did you graduate?
15.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was like that was Jamal Adams'
Yeah.
freshman year. And
Yeah.
he had the long baggy sleeves on against Ole Miss, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ran with it.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
It is a good look.
And I could play. So, so I
Thank
did.
you, Stewie, for that nugget. Noah, how you walked the halls at Central High School with Sid Edwards as the high school football coach and did not play is still beyond. I mean,
Sid
at one
Edwards'
point,
biggest regret.
Sid Edwards was handing out Snickers bar in the corner of Airline and Plank back in the day to get kids to go to Redemptorist. How you were walking down the halls and didn't get pads on you still remains a mystery. I told you I was selling to Frank Wilson the other day. I said, Coach, man, we need some access to the program, bro. I mean, the place has become a steel trap over there. I mean, under Ojulari and Panamsky, it was days of our lives. I mean, it was like you could tune in on Twitter and find out what the hell was going on in the building. Now nobody knows anything, so I got a walk-on for you in Tingle, and Noah Tingle, who can play a little fullback linebacker for you. Take the hits during pregame, take the hits during preparation, during game week. You can kind of game plan around him. They loved it. I sent him the the screenshot of Noah at the gym.
Did you really?
Said, "This is the meathead I'm talking about, Coach."
Wow.
He doesn't believe in leg days, but I mean,
We can get him there.
right. In Flint's program, he'll buy in. I promise. No, would you accept a walk-on spot on the LSU football team?
Oh, I don't know.
That sounds like a no.
Sounds awful.
I do basketball. But
Yeah.
I don't know about football. Last time I played football, I was 12 years old.
Oh.
You'll learn quick. It'll only take one.
Heads up for 66 pulling. All right, remember, daily, we're brought to you by GoFlow, our friends over at GoFlow. Need a little energy if you have an injury and you're looking for some other ways to recover. Check out our friends over at GoFlow. They can help you out. GEAUX, flowiv.com. GEAUX, flowiv.com is where you can find them online. 7370 Jefferson Highway is where they're located. Stop in and see them. Stop in and see Brett and the crew. Another promo code for you. If you use the show's name, you get 15% off of your initial visit over there at GoFlow. Check them out online. They take walk-ins, but they encourage you to take a...
Go ahead, call in.
Yeah, it's easier probably going online. GEAUX, flowiv.com. GEAUX, flowiv.com. We'll be back. BJ Ojulari set to join us here at 8:30. We'll take a... is he here?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say,
thought you were
go Flow
pointing at
IV, perfect day for it before Little Cinco de Mayo.
Absolutely.
And then we have the Uncle Earl's watch party on Friday. So get your hydration the right way before you get it the wrong way.
Into your veins.
Into your vein, intravenously.
Injure your veins.
Injure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it hurts.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because he said
Injure. Yeah.
Anyway.
What?
All right.
Speaking of injured weight, why did you put tacks in your wristbands?
I didn't. The
Why did people?
LHSAA thought that you were doing that.
What?
Why would you do it?
To hurt people.
What do you
Tax?
mean?
Yeah, like
you would
to
put
put-
tax and
Somebody
have them
did
sticking
that?
Out?
Oh, I mean, that's what they told us. But we were like, nobody's doing that.
Who is
is
doing
awful.
that? I've never
But
even heard of that.
There are crazy people out
No,
there.
I believe
like,
that there are.
Go down to Winfield or Grant High. You'll see somebody
So
like,
your
chewing
team
on a
couldn't
truck tire.
wear wristbands due to that? Like it was that big of an issue?
No.
Hell yeah.
You grab it.
What kind of people?
I mean, 16-year-old high school kids that,
Jeez.
their dads are probably hitting them when they go home. Play harder, play better, be me. And like, okay.
Be better than me.
Yeah.
this makes
Get you
me
one of these,
sad.
son. Get you one of these.
Let me tell you about
I don't want to live your life, Dad.
District Title 78.
District 32A, number 67. Look, here I am pulling. Watch. Rewind it. Again.
I spatted my cleats. You were overrated, Dad. You drunk. We'll be back with BJ Ojulari.
Give me another
I
beer.
learned it from you.
Put a dip in.
Southern Eyes Centers, where their passion is caring for eyes. It's what they do. They've been doing it for 40 years. They've been offering the Capital Region a friendly, helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. Stop in and see their brand new office on Jefferson Highway today, where you can find them at 6859 Jefferson Highway. They also are the daily poll sponsor on the Culotta Show. And remember, if you go into Southern Eye Center of Baton Rouge and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you will receive 25% off of their fantastic sunglasses selection over at Southern Eye Center. Check out Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Center, the daily poll sponsor of the Jordy Culotta Show. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz. Shout out to Tom Granning from everybody over here at FM Digital Media, as he is our fuel sponsor. Whether it's fuel cards or snacks, he's keeping us going every day at FM Digital Media. If you're out on Highway 61, make sure and stop in and see him over at Go Mart. It is located in Natchez, Mississippi. It is our favorite convenience store, and it's for our guy Tom Granning, who supports us every day over here at FM Digital Media. All right, personal testimony from my trip over to Johnson and Spillers. Shout out to my friend Dr. Chad Spillers for taking care of me, man. I had to have my front tooth, a tooth implanted on my front tooth, and it was a hell of an ordeal, but Dr. Spillers and the crew from Johnson and Spillers made it as easy and seamless as possible to work with, and have taken the final product, and it is absolutely beautiful. Learn more online at johnsonspillers.com. Whether you're looking for Botox or you need help in any type of dentistry, whether it is dentures, night guards, if you're looking for Invisalign, if you're interested in implant dentistry like I got, you can get in touch with Johnson and Spillers. Online, johnsonspillers.com. 2 locations, one in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easiest way to get them, online at johnsonspillers.com. All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet on this Wednesday. Shout out to our crew over there. Stop in and see Nick Lee and the entire staff over at Go Express Auto Sales here in Baton Rouge and Go Chevrolet out in Laplace. Love our next guest, man. We are our first NIL deal that we ever did here in the Jordy Culotta Show was struck with BJ Ojulari. Katie and I were talking about just jumping into NIL, and I said, to hell with it, man. Call LSU's best players. Call Kayshawn and BJ and see if they want to do some interviews with us every Sunday night. BJ and Kayshawn were there every Sunday night. Didn't matter if it was through a win, through a loss. They were answering the questions. They were there, and you saw the type of character that they had, man. Specifically, our guy, BJ Ojulari, who we were talking about, really feels like he is set to explode here going into his junior season. And he joins us back in studio, as it's great to see the LSU defensive end after 2 years on campus and trying to finish out this semester over the next couple of weeks. How you feeling, big fella? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys, too. I'm feeling really good. Had a good spring, just trying to finish strong with my class.
Absolutely. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. But how is the semester going from an academic standpoint?
Semester's going pretty good. All A's and B's right now, so I'm just trying to maintain that.
That a boy. That a boy. The prince.
Yeah.
Showing off. I'd imagine that the queen doesn't stand for C's and D's, though, bro.
Oh, no, yeah, she doesn't. They don't play about that.
Yeah. Dude, we were talking as a staff. You are much more than a pass rusher, right? Like, I think people, when recruiting, people understood that. But over the first 2 years, you had a specialty that LSU recognized, and you perfected it, man. I mean, you've been recognized all SEC. Like we said, a lot of the mock drafts have you in the top 10 going early on because of that skill set. It looks like Coach House and this defensive staff had said, all right, we know he can get to the quarterback. And when it's down and time for him to do that, we're going to unleash him and let him go get him. But we're also going to show him off all of what he can do. What was your growth? What was your role that you found this spring? How was spring for you?
Spring was very, very good for me. You know, especially Coach House coming in from the Chiefs, just bringing so much knowledge that I didn't know coming in. So, you know, just showing off my skill set. Last year, they tried to show it off a little bit in the last 6 games with playing more of a dropping end. So this spring, I'm just trying to, you know, build my leadership role, be more vocal, bring more guys along. And like you said, not just be able to pass rush, but be more effective in the run game, setting better edges, and just showcasing more dominance in the defense.
Do you feel comfortable in that role, more comfortable in that role?
Most definitely, you know, being here for going on 3 years now, just watching guys like Dre and Damone, seeing how they led, just makes me more comfortable in myself, being able to be more vocal and just know how to bring guys along.
Yeah, for sure. When you go out to practice, just as somebody that is not a part of the team, whether it's somebody like us who's covering the team or like scouts that I've talked to that was at Pro Day, they are all raving about the defensive line. They all look at your group and say there are multiple pros and there's multiple high-round draft pick pros on that unit. What do you make of the group that you're playing alongside, and what is the expectation for the defensive line going into this year?
I think the expectation for defensive line every year, I think, is very high. Especially, you know, Coach Kane, he's a great coach, coaches with a lot of energy. We have a lot of guys stepping up this year. We got Jaquelin Roy, and we already know Mason Smith, Ollie Gay. I like Mekhi Wingo. His motor is crazy. We got Big Tank, Jacobian.
Yeah. So
all these guys, they had a great spring. Just retaining knowledge and being able to translate it to the field, and especially as our groups emerge and try to build that chemistry, I think we did a very good job. Every day we're battling with the O-line. So this whole spring was just very, very well, in my opinion, and just building team chemistry and just getting that little edge that we need.
Mekhi Wingo's name keeps coming up. Everybody we talk to, they keep bringing. He came over here last week, and we had a great sit down and discussion with him. What has the Missouri transfer brought to the room? It seems like he's got a ton of energy.
Yeah, he has a lot of energy. His motor is out this world, man. That he knows how to play some ball. So it's gonna be exciting playing with him alongside me.
Jamar Cain was a big get. It felt like for LSU, whether it was getting him away from Oklahoma or preventing him from going other places. It seems like he's had a really big impact early on your guys. What has been the impact that the defensive line coach has made?
I think he just made a good impression on us, being able to mesh well with the group, just matching our energy. You know, the D-line has a lot of energy, a lot of characters in the room, so he does a great job just managing all that and just being able to coach us with a lot of energy as well.
Matt House, you mentioned him coming in. What has he brought to the defense early on?
He just you know, his biggest thing is effort. So the whole defense is preaching effort, strain, but he's bringing a lot of detail. He's bringing a lot of you know, almost like you're at the next level. I don't know what that feels like, but it just feels like that kind of you know, next level feel. A lot of detail to the defense, a lot of adjustments and stuff that we have to get on the fly, but as we go on, it's getting easier and easier to adjust to the way things are going.
A listener has a question, and it's an interesting one. John Quav asks, ask BJ if he watched any film on Josh Allen, who the former Kentucky linebacker, who's now in the NFL, who played under Coach House. Has he put you on any of his former players to say, hey, look, watch him because this is the role you're going to serve?
Most definitely. Josh Allen, his name comes up a lot. You know, we have a lot of similarities in play style, so Coach House definitely encouraged me to watch him in college and his NFL tape.
You know, when Coach House's stock really went up, I thought locally, is when Tyrann Mathieu sat down with us, and he really raved about Coach House being the linebackers coach in Kansas City and just some of the meetings and things that he picked up from House in preparation. I think Matthew's got 12 picks over the last 3 seasons, and he accredits like 8 of them to House by just listening to the preparation. What has been anything specific that House has kind of taught you, whether it be in the film room that you've seen carry over to the field and say, wow, this has made an instant impact on my game?
Yeah, like you said, Tyrann Mathieu, he really just said, Coach House is going to put you in a position to make the play. And I definitely believe that, seeing that in the spring, putting guys in position to get picks, make sacks, putting guys in position to use their skill set to the best of their ability to make plays. So I definitely felt that, with me, like you said, rushing, putting me in positions, not just rushing from the edge, but rushing from different areas of the field. So I think that's one way he used my skill set.
How cool was that to hear from Tyrann like you guys did? That seemed like that carried a lot of weight in that room.
Oh yeah, it was definitely motivational, especially seeing somebody who played at LSU, who wore number 7, who went on to the league to win a Super Bowl, and especially when you have the defense coordinator that coached him now coaching us. So everything he said, I took to the heart, and it sounded like he was speaking from a lot of emotion. So it was a very great moment for the whole team.
BJ, it seems like this team is tight. It seems like y'all like each other. It seems like y'all get along in the locker room. I mean, that's easy maybe to just read through quotes and read through people coming in here, but there seems to be a very sense of pride that's there and it's growing.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think people are just holding everybody more accountable. We got the SWAT program that's holding everybody accountable. So everything that you do, everything that you say, or all your actions are being accounted for. So guys are being more, attentive, attending more, meetings and tutoring sessions, going to class. So I just think everybody's held at a more higher standard. So when you see other people raising their level, you just can't, continue to sit at the bottom. Everybody else is going to continue to raise their level.
You're one of the faces of this team. You're somebody that has high expectation around you. What is your relationship like with Coach Kelly, and what is the impact that he's made on you and the team? What have you seen from him early on?
I think Coach Kelly, he's a great head coach, great leader. He has a plan, and I'm just here to follow his plan to my best ability. But he knows what to do. He knows how to win. So just me being one of the leaders, I have to carry everybody else along to follow his plan the right way. But him and his staff, they do an amazing job getting the point across and getting like the way they want things to be done across. So I think he does a great job in that. But besides that, I haven't really have too much conversation with him because I don't really like to say much. But so far he's been a great coach.
How about Jacob Flint? How about the strength coach? That's it seems like now you're kind of going into his mode, right? You're about to be around him a lot. How has it been working with him early on?
Oh yeah, Coach Flint, and his staff, they do an amazing job. With the GPS tracking, everything that we do is tracked. They know how fast we run, our max velocities. In the meeting room, they bring up the whole chart of max velocity and max speed to see who's really running for real, who's really straining and stuff like that. So, but in the weight room, they do a great job of managing our bodies, and everything's more of a speed instead of how much you can lift.
Yeah,
speed and technique. So that was just the adjustment that we had to get over. But other than that, man, they do a great job. They're here for us. We're getting more adjusted to them, more comfortable around the coaching staff. So they're doing a great job.
You saw your NIL, I guess, reputation go up during the season. Like you started making plays, and everybody's like, "Oh, we want to align ourselves with number 8." How has NIL affected you, and how do you handle it now going into another year of it? What's the impact that it's made on you?
NIL made a very great impact on me personally. Just being able to have a little bit more revenue in my pocket, to manage. So you can just focus more on the field instead of worrying about any outside issues. So as you make more plays, you're gonna make more deals, more money. But, you know, my still main focus is just trying to make the team better and hopefully possibly make it to the next level. And, you know, but yeah, NIL is a great experience. You know, even Fanatics came in, gave us everybody, you know, the group licensing deal. So that's going to be pretty interesting seeing how that goes.
Absolutely. Looking forward to an 8 Ojulari jersey hanging up right there.
Yeah, most definitely.
In the studio, and you making money off of that.
Yes, sir.
Which is cool. What is the emphasis for you this summer? I know you'll probably be working out with your brother, who is an NFL guy, and being around back home a little bit where there's a bunch of pros. What are you trying to work on this summer?
This summer, you know, just more speed, more strength. You know, technique-wise, just getting back to my roots of, you know, just playing and just being able to be that dominant defensive player every week. But then when we come back in with the team, just being able to build team chemistry, just continue to build that tighter knit around the group. So, especially the defense, so we can be ready to go for camp. You know, camp is a whole different monster that you just got to be mentally ready for, not just physical. So those are really the goals.
I know you played high school football with Arik Gilbert, and it looks like he's got it. It looks like it's kind of starting to come together for him. I know everybody that saw him play. I know I'm pulling for him and hopes he gets it right, because he is a very unique talent. In fact, I saw a mock draft that had him going 7 and you going 8 next year. Have you talked to him? And it does seem like he's on the right track.
Yeah, the last time I talked to him, probably I want to say a few months. I probably got to give him a call, but he's looking great right now. I saw the spring game highlights and he was just dominating like he should, you know. But he's a great player, great student, great person. Just knowing him from high school, so I'm just glad to see him back on the field.
How good was y'all's high school team?
Jesus.
Yeah, we was
Thank God.
we was loaded. In Georgia 7A, we won it all. Went on to win the national championship Geico game in Vegas. But we was pretty good.
Did what y'all were supposed to do.
Yeah, we
Sounds
did.
like.
Pretty good is an understatement over there, BJ.
The national championship in high school.
So semester finishes up next week,
Yes, sir.
and then when does off-season training start?
So summer school starts on the 23rd. If you're online, we don't have to be back until the 30th for off-season training.
Continue the hard work, bro.
Yes,
you
sir.
deserve all that's coming towards you, man, and it feels like you're running into a year where you are about to explode onto this scene and show off all that talent you got, and who knows, probably end up as a top 10 pick. Congratulations on all of it up to this point. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you guys for having me.
Always. BJ Ojulari, stand up and stand out LSU football player, stopping in this morning to give us a little update here on the end of the semester, back into spring football and some of the offseason goals for Ojulari and crew. Remember that conversation brought to you by City Cafe, our friends over at City Cafe, citycafebr.net. Stop in and see them for lunch. Easy to do on O'Neill and George O'Neill. Been in business for over 100 years. citycafebr.net. Online is where you can find them. Daily lunch specials, and remember the brunch cranks up on Sunday, as that'll be there at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. citycafebr.net. We'll be back to close it out here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Southern Eye Centers, where their passion is caring for eyes. It's what they do. They've been doing it for 40 years. They've been offering the Capital Region a friendly, helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. Stop in and see their brand new office on Jefferson Highway today, where you can find them at 6859 Jefferson Highway. They also are the daily poll sponsor on the Culotta Show. And remember, if you go into Southern Eye Center of Baton Rouge and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you will receive 25% off of their fantastic sunglasses selection over at Southern Eye Center. Check out Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Center, the daily poll sponsor of the Jordy Culotta Show. City Cafe, online at citycafebr.net, where good friends meet. Great food and even better service, located in the shopping center behind Rite Aid on the corner of George O'Neill and O'Neill Lane. They cater for parties, big and small. Sundays, they serve a fantastic brunch that starts at 10 a.m. They have daily lunch specials. And remember, you can look at everything online at citycafebr.net. We'll give a shout-out to Squeaky Miranda, Cody Miranda, Dirk and the crew, everybody over at City Cafe for their support here at the Jordy Culotta Show. Online, citycafebr.net. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you out there. Finding your excuse on how to get out of the office early and get to Modesto.
I gotta work, yeah.
Yeah, I have to
I gotta
work.
go to work. I hate that.
What time we crank it up over at Modesto?
Starts at 3.
Nice.
And then we got the cornhole at,
What a great time
Yeah,
to
they got
knock off.
live music, margaritas, tacos,
Oh, man.
face
Right at
painting. So I think I'm
carpool
gonna get a
time.
little.
There's face painting?
Yeah.
Aw.
Little JC Show logo
I don't know what
on
I'm
the
gonna,
cheek.
I think I'm gonna do like luchador mask and just kind of rock the
Wow,
whole
that's a
face paint.
commitment.
I know. Hey,
My
I gotta help the guys out.
Lord, I thought you were going to write your name or something.
My name.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like some little maracas on your cheek or
I think
something.
I'm gonna
Appreciate
pull
the
that.
interaction from everybody inside of the chat, helping us out with some questions, including John Quav and our guy Hayden Paris,
The pair.
who served up a couple of them.
pair.
Don't listen to the little man Rico, Hayden. Jealousy runs through that little son of a bitch. I mean, you can just smell the jealousy reeking off of that the little man.
He was the first person I thought of when we were talking ditch digging. I felt
Yes.
like that's kind of Rico's.
It's
That's
a-
his arena.
Couldn't handle a jackhammer.
Started off so strong, though. You
There's
know,
a,
you really wanted him to come on.
There's a height qualification to handle a jackhammer.
Lord,
Rico
he's-
get his teeth
he
knocked
had-
out
He
by
probably
him.
has his forklift certificate.
Oh, no doubt.
Certification for sure. He's a forklift guy. Put Rico in the forklift, the
Maybe
short
he's
guy.
a tall
Hey, you, short guy.
Yeah.
Get in the forklift.
Hey, not so fast, little man. We got a gig for you right over here. Grab your hard hat and jump on that forklift.
Can't trust him anywhere else. He's tying bricks to his feet.
Over there in the corner, spinning it around. Can't get it to go straight.
Rico, come here.
God damn it! Tell the munchkin to bring the damn forklift over here.
Look at him now. Look at my power. Can't win.
Nah, man. Another insecure moment for Rico.
Terrible day for him.
Thanks for
Cinco de
everybody. Cinco de Mayo?
For Rico, I feel like that'd be a great holiday for him.
For the college kids, for you two in the back.
Yeah.
Nobody's studying today, right?
I mean,
Stewie got
Senior
a,
eye.
Stewie's chaperoning.
Stewie got a test today he didn't know about.
Stroking his gray beard
Yeah.
by the pool.
Great here.
relax.
Noah, what's the plan?
Oh,
Noah's going to the gym.
Yeah.
He's already been to the gym.
And
3
the
days around
library
these
right
parts,
now.
bro.
no 3 days. Good lord.
When you
No,
get
I
on the
don't know.
football team, it's gonna be 3 a days.
3
So
days.
start getting your mind right. We need access, Noah. No, any celebration for Cinco de Mayo? You heading over to Modesto?
I might have to.
Okay.
Might have to get my face painted. I don't know if I'm gonna do the luchador mask, but
Join the squad. Why not? Let's tag team. Let's start a wrestler. Let's
No
start
way
wrestling.
Mic'd Up gets his face painted, huh?
No, Michael. No way.
You can talk him into it.
You think?
You
You
should
get, like,
try to talk
maybe
about
some-
it.
I don't think he'll go luchador mask with me, but
No,
he'll
I
get
don't
something.
think so either.
I'm trying to get him on the cornhole
Maybe
court.
a lime.
Yeah.
A what?
A lime.
A baseball bat.
Squeezing a lime over the eyebrow.
Yeah, that would be actually pretty
That
cool.
would be cool.
You're welcome.
I might do that.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Luchador mask. I might
So
go.
jealous. You're
maybe
going to
like
get those chips.
yeah.
Those are the best
Oh,
chips
I
in
know.
town.
I know the secret ingredient. I can't spill the beans, but He told me.
What?
Yeah.
Like the seasoning
Yeah.
is a secret?
Ah,
Okay.
there's more than that. I know.
They're so
If you don't
good.
know what we're talking about, it's the chips at
The
Modesto,
chips
which are
and
Secret
Modesto
sauce?
are
Secret
so
sauce.
good. Everything there is so good,
Yeah.
honestly.
I know it always sounds like we're lying when we're talking about it,
We're
but
not.
it actually is good. I went there Sunday, make sure everything was still in ship shape.
I thought that before I knew you or Sean.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Didn't he give you a little runner of tequila shots out there when you came? Yeah.
He did. Some dip trio and tequila shots, to whom one of the people I was with was like, we didn't order this.
Oh.
Ooh.
We
didn't
know who
order
the fun
that.
one at the
And
party.
she like
Good
slid
Lord.
it. I was
Send,
like,
can I send her back
I
with
was
this?
turning, I wanted to. I was turning like blood
Jeez.
red. I was like, oh God. I was like, this was a favor. I know the guy, like he's being nice. And
Yes.
they're like, oh well.
Go park my car
we didn't
while you're
want
at it.
shots of tequila, and I was like, oh my God,
The
give
worst
it to me.
type of people.
I already know who it is, and you hadn't even told me.
I don't know.
I've seen your friend group. I know exactly the one.
This was an outlier. This wasn't a normal friend group person.
Oh, now she
Wow,
knows.
you
Now
hang
she
with
knows
multiple
who
of
it is.
these
Yeah.
She's not
personalities.
listening to the show. I can guarantee you that.
She's listening right now.
The outlier.
She's
Yeah,
put it in her
right.
chat.
Oh,
It's me.
what a
Breaking
tag.
pencils in her bed right now.
I
Knew
hope
I couldn't
not.
trust Katie.
She could.
Well, do
she
you
could
know
come
what it
after me.
was? She was worried about us just going to be on the bill. And it's
Oh,
like,
no.
we didn't order this
I can
tequila.
guarantee you that is the
Oh.
last
Oh, I
thing
forgot.
in her mind.
Yeah,
Lord,
well, you gotta
where
know
you
who you're
at?
talking to.
Yeah.
Read the room.
forgot.
Look at the bill.
There were
Jeez.
no dollar
Well,
signs.
Unpaint your face, for
Yeah.
God's sakes.
Come on,
I
Lloyd.
was well, maybe
You
if she
paint
was an
your
outlier.
eyeballs?
She was an outlier of the crew. I thought maybe she was like, maybe I'm in an arena. I can't
An
punch him.
outlier, like out of my
Ah.
league outlier.
Oh, she's a step up.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Whoa.
Oh,
Couple
Katie
of
was
clicks
rolling with the
above.
high rollers
Yeah.
yesterday. That's what it was.
See, it's not so cool at the top of the mountain.
I don't like these kids.
Great college holiday, Cinco de Mayo. It does suck that it falls in the middle of finals,
It
though,
does.
right? I mean, that's a lot of stressing partying. Not for my type of personality, but I mean, I'd imagine that the BJ Ojularis of the world would probably
I
stress
know.
Well,
hanging
and
out by the
this-
pool
yeah,
today.
because this is
For God's sake, just let the guy party.
yeah. It feels like that even the people that wouldn't normally party always seem to you would catch them out on a Cinco de Mayo. It's like, oh, we'll all do something, but in the middle of finals week maybe they won't. But this is something that brings everybody together. It's easy to do. You just grab a gallon of margaritas and go to the pool.
Yeah.
And I guess if it's finals week, some people, you know, it'll bring out the best, the people that you want out there, not the people that turn away tequila shots.
Jeez. What is Cinco de Mayo, though? Is it?
It's the Day of the Dead.
No,
It's
no,
not
it's the
the
Day
Day
of
of
the
the
Dead. Is it
Is it
Mexican
July 4th and
Independence
It's like
Day?
it's like a Mexican. I think it's the Independence Day.
Okay, that's what I was
Is what it
thinking.
is.
yeah.
And there's some parts, I remember in Spanish class, we were like, oh, it's Cinco de Mayo, and she was like, no. I don't know what
What do you mean?
she was like not a fan of celebrating it. So I
Catholic
think
school?
it's like, yes.
Oh, yeah,
But
sure.
she was,
Because we're not
The
celebrating
Catholics
it
find
like
it. They
in
find
honor of
excuses
Mexican
to not.
independence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
it's
Oh,
the anniversary of
great.
Mexico's victory over the French Empire.
Oh, geez.
So
God, it sounds a lot like May the 4th.
Thank you, Noah.
of course.
Yeah. That's a
Oh,
lot.
he's in Spanish class right now.
Oh, yeah.
Say-
Did you Google that or
Yeah,
did you
I
just
Googled
know?
that. I didn't-
Oh,
he
I was
Googled
about to
it.
say,
For sure
hold on.
That wasn't a carryover from yesterday's lesson.
I learned about that in Spanish.
Katie, you just believe everything. You should have made her believe that you learned that yesterday in
I could've ran
Spanish.
with it.
Yeah.
Senor Rodriguez yesterday in class told us the.
Senor Tingle.
Yeah, that's right.
Noah, do the rest of the show in Spanish for us. Show us what
He
you've
could.
learned.
The better question would be, Noah, what do you know of Spanish?
Oh, see, so my move is we have to do the speaking exams. Like you have to hold a conversation.
Oh.
Well, you write the script, you memorize the script.
No doubt.
And so,
No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Heady play.
no sé iba a ir hoy desperte tarde, huh?
Ah, Stewie translated.
He was a little,
No chance.
he was a little late to something. Is all I got.
Yes. Say it one more time, Noah.
I woke up late. That's what it's saying.
Ah, give me something
No
else.
sé, I don't know. Iba a ir hoy, pero me desperte tarde.
Wow.
I was gonna go, but I woke up late.
Look at the prerequisites at FM Digital Media. You got to be bilingual to work over here.
No.
El gato es muy contorce.
What you got over there?
Oh, you got to figure it out yourself.
Say it again.
El gato es muy contorce.
The cat
Muy
is
very contorce.
The cat is very...
14.
By Noah's giggles,
The
you're
cat
setting
is
us up
very
on something.
14?
Just 14 years
you really
old.
setting it up.
Didn't you say
Okay.
It's just a phrase that we all learned in Spanish that we would always say when we got called on because we didn't know anything.
Chinga de
So,
madre.
yeah, we always
That's a
had one to
weird
go to.
phrase.
Yeah.
The cat is 14? What was the phrase?
And it just sounds like you know what you're talking about.
Okay.
El gato es muy
Unless you can
contorce.
understand Spanish.
All right,
and
then you're in
like,
trouble.
why?
And I'm
Okay.
a patria, filii, spiritui sancti. I just learned a couple of things. and
Rocky
toss them out
Balboa.
there.
Wait,
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
Latin or what are you
That's
doing?
Latin.
Okay.
That's
Was
my
that
other
Latin?
go-to. Yeah, that we had to learn.
Hit me again.
In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. It's the sign of the cross.
Yeah.
Father, Son, Holy
I
Spirit.
feel like you might burst into flames.
I know
when
my
it's-
hands are sweating.
He's sweating over there.
Stomach.
I've got the stigmata now.
Like, you want me to do what? Get up on that stage and do that again on Latin.
Are you gonna start doing the holy water?
No, I'm getting the what is it? The stigmata. I can feel the holes in my hands, like Padre Pio.
That's creepy.
This guy.
Look at all of my knowledge.
You do have a lot of
I did sit out religion class my senior year. It's a big fuss, big stink.
What do you mean you weren't forced to do it?
No, but they wouldn't. For all the Menard people listening out there, they won't let you fail religion. That makes it look very bad. So
Yeah.
it's like it's an elective, but they don't tell you that. They'll give
Right.
you a C.
It is.
Well, so what do you mean you sat it out?
We used to have to do prayer quizzes every day, and we would go into the hallway and have to do them in Latin. And I was just like, I'm not doing this. I just reserved my right to not participate.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And they
they're
were
like,
okay
Look
with
at
it?
you, Lloyd.
So what'd you
Well, they
do in
weren't
place
okay
of
with it. No, I went to class. He just gave me a
Oh.
C. We talked about it.
Oh, okay.
Had a good discussion. It's like I'm not
What did
wasting
your
my
mom
time.
feel about that?
Awful.
Yeah,
Hated
I
it.
bet. I bet.
But I'm a trailblazer.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's why we
John
love
wants to know what year you graduated high school.
2010.
2010. Tyrann Mathieu.
Yep. Yeah. Those are the days.
2010.
Lloyd, it still feels like you're living the days.
I know.
I don't think Lloyd's days were.
Yeah, right.
About to have a day today.
Yeah, I mean,
you. I know.
load up.
Load up.
Face painted.
Golden, thank you.
Yeah. Got my tickets for Van Gogh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got
Still
your
there.
ticket?
Yes.
I didn't get mine. I was kind of waiting until the last minute.
They're only
wow.
like $18.
How have the roles reversed?
I know. I don't like to plan. I don't like to plan when I go to New Orleans. I don't like to make reservations. I like to slide in and see what works out.
Okay.
That's how I
Wait,
like
so
to
you're
do it.
going to Van Gogh?
Yeah.
Wait, what if we run into you there? When are you going?
Not for a while. I'm
Oh.
waiting
Okay.
for Lil J's basketball. I'm going to take
Oh,
Lil
we're
J.
going this
Yeah,
weekend.
that'll be cool.
He'll be our chaperone.
Yeah. You got it.
Mind if I hang onto your shoulder, buddy? It's getting super weird.
Are you okay?
Yeah, right.
Do I have both my ears?
Have you talked to Adam Miller? Is he coming back or not?
Little Jay, take my phone. Tweet this.
By the way, do you have the pictures of Little J's field trip
I
yesterday?
do. I got a couple of
Did
pulled
school
up.
took them?
School took him.
To where?
They
Like,
took him
just
to LSU's campus. This is him and Adam Miller yesterday. Miller gives me a call. And he's like, dude, I know I just met your son. I said, how do you know? He said, because he told me 3
Well,
times
you
when I
heard
met
it in
him.
the video.
Right.
I'm Jordy Culotta's son.
I said, bro, watch yourself. Don't stream that too loud, man. Who knows what could happen to you? Could be a couple of Ricos out there feeling the vibe, dude. Might catch a shank.
Yes.
So it seems like the
so
little girl
cute.
next to him, they're kind of flirty.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Shannon's daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, right. All right.
Yeah. Little
How old
flirty.
is he?
11.
He's
5th
probably,
grade.
He's probably in the pulling the hey, watch this.
Yeah.
Hey, Mwani, guess what?
No doubt. Hey, do you know who that is? No.
No.
Hey, Mwani.
Stay.
You know my dad? Who? Jordy Culotta. Yeah, later, dude.
what'd they do on the
Justice
field
Williams,
trip?
look.
They just happened to run into these guys?
Well, they were
Like, walking
so they
around
were doing
campus?
they did like the mic, the cage. They took him into the football facility. They took him into the stadium. I guess they just went to go see the campus. I still don't know what I don't know if there was a learning exercise.
Nah, they needed
You know
to
what
get
I'm saying?
out
I
of
mean, I
there
think it
for
was just kind of the
something.
end of the year. The teachers were looking for a little
Yeah.
getaway. They were
Little did
probably
they
relief
know.
bedding off in the corner.
Yeah, little did know they had
'cause-
little Jay holding court.
Yeah, because Ace was like, he was like, dude, I called you. He's like, because your son crossed the street without looking both ways. Because he's like, Adam, Ace, and like sprints across the street. You know, like with a cell phone in hand. They're like, what is this kid doing? Like away from school? Like, who is this?
These kids running around campus.
He's like, first question. He's like, you coming back or not? He's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't have time for your
What's going on here, man? You mind if we get a selfie? You mind if we take a picture?
The best is Efton Reed. The
Yeah.
video is so good.
It is so good.
You're my favorite player. For real.
Yeah, I swear.
I swear.
I swear.
Classic move.
It's so good.
That's so cute.
The teacher nervous asking for the picture.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's
Oh,
good.
So good. And he even ran into baseball players.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
Reiselman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the toe tapper.
Yeah.
Did they tap their toes together?
They did.
I don't know.
Make a wish and go home. Dorothy.
I think there's one with Alex Fudge.
Really?
I talked to Fudge. He was like, dude, your kid's relentless telling me I can't go to Florida. He's like, what? I mean, who is this kid?
Wait, so they just ran into them around
Yes, like
campus?
these, like they're like
Over and over?
they're like
campus all
walking.
the time.
They're like walking to class.
That's so funny.
Look at that.
That's hilarious. His face.
Welcome to
Florida, just
go
He's like, bro, you should just go to the league. He's like, my dad was telling me you're on mock drafts.
The information this kid's giving.
I
He's
mean,
like,
it's
what's
unbelievable.
happening?
Fudge was like, dude, he was telling me all about the Wade situation, how Wade got jobbed. He was like, how he should still have his job.
How old are you?
He was like, who is this kid, man?
That's so great.
It's like, I mean, it's a federal wiretap. I mean, if they couldn't get him, who could? I hear you, little Jay. Speak
11.
up, bro.
He's at the perfect age though, where they won't take
Yes.
offense to anything
Yeah,
he
right.
says, but he still
He's right
has
on that
it's a
line.
definite opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Why
know
don't you play more?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why do you foul so much?
Why do you miss dunks?
Yeah. I know why you don't have very many minutes.
But I mean, like they tell you, if you want to know the truth, you ask young people or old people,
That's very
Or
right?
me.
Like I mean, like the young people
Yeah,
or
or
old
me.
people tell you the truth. Tell you, you know, they're not going to tell you. There's no fluff. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. You know, you're balding. Thank you, grandmother.
Where's your tooth?
Right. Exactly.
Dad, your tooth keeps falling out. That's enough. Go to
Thank
your
you,
room.
kid. Go to bed.
Yeah. Where's that book report you were supposed to do?
Give me some more info on Ace. All right, have a great day. Hit that like and share button. Come celebrate Cinco de Mayo with the Mic'd Up crew. They'll be over at Modesto on campus, same shopping center as Walk-Ons. We'll be there at 3:30.
Yeah, it starts at 3. We'll probably get there around 3:30.
Okay.
Cornhole at 4. Live music, free drinks, all that kind of stuff. Let's see what the pamphlet
Until
says.
when?
It just says until when. Like I
Oof.
think they're
Oh,
gonna
it
let
really
this
says
thing.
that?
Yeah.
Oof.
Like,
Cinco de Mayo. You got to
Cornhole
cash in it.
tournament
You got to
4
cash in
until-
tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to cash. I mean, if you're Modesto, you're.
Yeah.
I mean, if we got to stay open past 2, keep the music running.
Yeah, that's what he says. Like Walk-Ons does this all the time.
Yeah,
We're fine.
right.
This is our
If
time.
they're doing it, we're doing
It's
it.
our time to shine.
Absolutely. Happy Cinco de Mayo. How do you say Happy Cinco de Mayo in Spanish, Noah?
El gato es
Happy
muy
is just
catorce.
Cinco de Mayo?
Feliz.
Feliz.
Cinco de Mayo Feliz.
Feliz. Would you say that before Cinco de Mayo or
I don't
after?
know.
Yeah.
It would be
Noah?
before.
Noah.
Yeah, because Feliz
Noah says
Cumpleaños
before.
Like
Or-
Feliz Navidad.
With the confident nod.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
All right.
A little
Stewie,
something.
fact check.
Have
Have a great day.
He's already taken
Yeah,
to the classes.
Stewie's relief med and already tequila'd up. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Stewie does like tequila. That bottle
Hit the
went
like and share.
went quickly. The one we had here just
I
disappeared to the
don't like
back.
people that don't like tequila.
Yeah, I agree. Like
Really?
this lady.
Yes.
What?
The lady that
Except
turned
for the
around.
lady, the rich
The outlier.
Oh, that lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rich
Katie loves
person.
tequila too.
I love
Should have brought us
tequila.
some wine.
Fortaleza is my favorite, and Casa Dragones.
Oh.
Love those.
Wow.
Sounds like it's not in the plastic bottle
Name
like I
drop.
get.
Yeah, right.
I'm learning to
Sound like they
sip
present it
without
like this.
oozing
Yeah, it's had it on fire.
Right. Your bottle, ma'am?
Ma'am.
Send it back.
Yeah. My bottle bounces twice off the ground, comes right back to me.
Lands in my back pocket.
It's an otter box.
Like a pint, drinking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Perfect.
Standing over my jackhammer.
Yeah, I bring it in for free.
Have a great day. Even you, Rico. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
It's your day.
Hit the like and share. Compliments to Go Chevrolet.